Good morning, citizens. How are we doing this morning? I'm so happy to be here with you guys again. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I have been MIA for a while with the holidays, and so I missed out on a ton. As you guys can see, I got a little cheeky with the thumbnail. Wanted to have a little fun. I did have this thumbnail saved for the anniversary of the December 21st when she first dropped her amended complaint, or her original complaint, sorry. Good morning, Laura. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone. So thankful for this community. Good to see you too. It's been a while. To Laura. Yeah, Sharona says, I'm looking forward to today's show. Yes, me too. So I got a little cheeky with the thumbnail. It's the guy from Lost. It's Jack from Lost. I said the guy. It's Jack from Lost. And then the plane crashed because it reminded me of, in the season, I think it's season 7, where he's like, "We have to go back," after they've already left the island. And so, I don't know, it just, like, it reminded me of that when I was gonna get ready to put together the show. I'm like, "We have to go back," because we have been going back. I mean, this new unsealing has made people come back out with all the old stuff. Like, everything's getting dug up again for all the new eyeballs that are coming on, for people who came on late in the game, like in August when the creators got subpoenaed. So people are going back and uncovering all this stuff. Some people for the first time are uncovering it on their own. Some people are bringing back stuff that they had uncovered back then. So that's the theme of today's show. We have to go back. Not only because I have to go back to 2 weeks ago, because I didn't have a show last Monday. So last Monday, I was supposed to do the show Monday morning. I realized that it was already the week of Thanksgiving, and I wasn't prepared at all. So I had to lock in. I deleted my apps and stuff, and last week I locked in. So I didn't do a Monday show. So this morning, we're going to do last Monday show and this Monday show. So it's kind of 2 shows in one. So settle in, y'all. I love what Bocce has said. If you guys don't know Bocce Go Hawk, she's over on YouTube. I love how she says that even if they're long, like, you guys can always pause them and then come back to them, like, later. Because I was gonna split this up into, like, a morning stream and a night stream, but I'm just gonna go straight through. See if I can. If not, maybe I'll do the second half tonight. But I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna go straight through. And then if it's too long as for a morning watch or for replay crew, you guys can always split it up into 2. But this way I can just get it all out. And this week is going to be a really, really busy week. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle it. We're going to take a look at the jurisdictional calendar at the end of what all is happening this week. A lot of drops. Shout out to Clark this morning, because he is going to be getting some audio for us. So shout out to him. He's going to be going to the courthouse. Lots of it's going to get crazy this week. It's a lot of stuff is coming up, and we're going to get into it, but we'll see how that goes. If I just do a recap next Monday, just keep doing the weekly recaps, or if I'm going to do a show in the middle of the week, or how that goes. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Shorna says, I love Bocce's long lives. I pause and listen over the course of the day weekend. And that's how I caught up on her last video. I started kind of peeking around like late Friday afternoon, kind of like, I mean, we were still doing holiday festivities and stuff, but that's when I started poking around like, okay, let me catch up on everything that happened. Cause like I said, I went completely dark Monday through Friday, aside from a couple peeks into docket updates. But yes, Clark, our hero. So anyways, I'm going to get right into it because it's a really long show, and I will try to get to the chats. Good morning, DFJ, our other mod. Our mods are here. Miriam is here. Good morning, Miriam. So a lot of our members are here. If you are not yet a member, you can become a member. Up at the top, you can hit join, become a member, and you get access to a super chat by becoming a member, and you support our coffee runs. So appreciate all the members that are here. So grateful for y'all. Yeah, so let me go ahead and get into the show that we have today. It's going to go way back. So y'all remember last Monday, we were going over the Be Better stuff. So we're going to have an update on that, but just kind of a reminder of what had happened. So that was Monday the 16th. On that day, it wasn't part of the show, but one of the things that had happened Let me make myself small. And I'll try to get to the chat, you guys, but I have a ton of stuff to get through, so I'll try and take a peek here and there. But just settle in, chat with each other. We have a great show for y'all today. Great show. So let me just get started on the TMZ of it all. TMZ has come under fire lately with the David situation. As a side note, they had reported that the body was decapitated and frozen and all this stuff. And people are saying, no, that's not, you know, mostly SF Investigates, who's the private investigator that got hired by the landlord in the David case. And he's saying, like, no, TMZ is wrong. Like, this can't be true because this is what the medical examiner office said. But I guess TMZ has doubled down. So I don't know. But they've been so wrong about the BALDONI case. I don't know. They've just been under fire lately. And so this is one where I'm like, okay, TMZ, well played. Justin Baldoni joked on the set, sorry I missed the SH training. And so they attribute this video that apparently they got from ex-patriarch because he was upset that he didn't get credit for it. But anyways, I'm not going to play the video or whatever, but in it, he actually, let me just play it. Let me see.
All right.
Okay, so right here, they basically put closed caption to say, sorry, I missed this SH training. And they put it right there for you to read it. And so a lot of people were like, I hear him saying it. I hear him saying it, right? So there were some creators that said they heard it, some that said they didn't, some that said this particular video that they had wasn't the same one that was in the docket updates, whatever. But one of the things that made me think about is this experiment. It's called the GreenNeedle experiments or the Yanni experiment. Where if you see something written, and you guys can tell me if you guys hear it, okay? If you see something written down, and as you're reading it, you will be able to hear what you are reading. And so here, this is a video from Toy Story. And this is crazy because it's which one will you hear? So there's something in green, OF, and then O Barbie in red. And so I'm going to play it for you guys. And so the first time I want you guys to just read the green part, okay? So we're going to see how this experiment works. And I think this is what TMZ tried to do with that video, or what ex-patriarch, I guess, if he was the one who put it out, was trying to do, is this kind of social experiment type thing. I don't know if it's what the science is behind it, but it's basically where if you read a word, you'll hear what you read. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys, and then I'll look at the chat and see what you guys are saying that you hear. Let me know if you hear it.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. Okay.
So on that one, if you read the green one, let me know if you...
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. Okay.
So do you guys hear OF?
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. Okay.
Okay, so that's the first one. Let me see. Let me check to see if you guys heard OF. That was vintage. Bizio, look at that. Merry Christmas to us. Early Merry Christmas. Bizio just gifted 5 memberships. So anyone who has their memberships turned on will get a free membership from Bizio. Wow, that was really awesome. So you guys can hear us. TMZ is trying to gaslight us. It's ridiculous. I don't hear it because it's not there. Yeah, but what about this one? Do you guys, Miriam says, love a long show. Oh my God, I'm green. Thanks. Oh, Maladaptive became a member. Yes. So she already got a membership. So yeah, make sure that those are on so you can get gifted a membership. That's really cool, Miriam. That was so generous of you. Yes. And I will bring, you know, an ode of all the good morning, DFJ, CJ, mods, and all. Good morning. Oh, look, here's another member. This is I'm not there anymore. Leave me be. Ooh, I like that name. Also just became green. So I'm going to try and upload the stickers for you guys that I have over on TikTok. I'm just going to put them over here on YouTube. I just been meaning to do that, but in honor of Miriam doing that, Bizio. I love calling her Bizio because I love that name. Just love the community, and CJ deserves to strive. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Miriam. I appreciate that. I love this community too, and I missed you guys. So If you guys heard OF on that one, now let's go back to the red one and see if you guys hear Oh Barbie instead, okay? So now read only the red one. As
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. Okay.
So see if you hear Oh Barbie, those were vintage now.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. Okay.
So anyways, let's go look at the chat and see if you guys could hear the two differences on it. Because I thought that was like really crazy. So I'm just gonna play it one more time for the people who are just coming in. We'll do.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage.
So did you hear OF? Those were vintage. And then here we'll do the red Oh Barbie and see what you hear.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. Okay.
So it's a cool little social experiment. And for those who want to like keep retrying it, you could just rewind this on replay or whatever. But they did it with the word Yanni. That's why it's called the GreenNeedle or the Yanni experiment, because sometimes they do it with the word GreenNeedle, and I forget what the other words are under GreenNeedle, but yeah, it's a crazy experiment that messes with your brain, and I feel like that's what TMZ was trying to do, whether it was through Expatriarch or whether, you know, they just decided to do it. Like it was all, because, you know, a lot of people say like TMZ is in Blake's pocket and all this other stuff. So we don't know, because, you know, also Expatriarch was being followed by Ryan Reynolds. We don't know, but this is some kind of psychological experiment that I wanted to point out. Like the moment that I saw that with the closed caption, I was like, they're trying to do this. And I couldn't remember the name of the experiment, but I remember seeing it on TikTok. So I put like TikTok semantics experiment, I meant. And yeah, it came up. So this one was the funnest one. They have other ones, but I thought this one was fun because it's Toy Story and Barbie. So for those of y'all who, yeah, Be Kind says, yes, I heard the difference. Wow, says Angela. So yeah, you guys can rewind it, and maybe I'll link this video down there so you guys can go and experiment on your own. But yeah, so let me continue. So that's what happened with that video. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in it. That's what I thought. I don't feel like there's any proof. We can't really hear it. So to me, it's just does it seem like he said it, and it seems like it was just some kind of experiment to make us think that we hear it. So let's move on to the Be Better of it all. Okay, so last time we dropped the Be Better bombshell, and now we have the update on what happened. So it says Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds just got my account deleted, like it just disappeared. So right after he had posted that stuff, his account had gotten locked, his Marcos account. So he posted on the Be Better account. Right after it got locked, it was unlocked, and he posted another video where he basically calls out Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and is like, it's not very smart for like you guys to call TikTok up and undo my account. And the reason why people think that he calls TikTok up is because TikTok, I believe they sponsored Wrexham, or somehow they're like connected somehow, Ryan and TikTok. So he felt like they deleted his account or whatever. And he's like, it's not very smart of you. So he kind of calls him out in the second video. And then I believe his account was deleted again at some point. I believe there was 2, but the very latest on it is last time I checked, the Marcos account was back up. So I don't know if he just got it back up or whatever, but this is, I did not witness this firsthand on the story because it was 3 days ago, obviously, but someone verified on TikTok live last night that this was indeed on his stories. So here's Marcos's latest update. I can't keep doing this. I've done what I can, and feeling unsafe is not worth it. I'm done speaking on Blake and Ryan. I don't want them taking up any more space in my mind. This isn't my burden to carry, and there's no point trying to bring light to something that will just be censored and buried. I'm moving on. I'll forget them with the rest of the world. May they fade to nothing. And it's an FU in front of Blake Lively's beauty products. And I mean, this could very well be, and so this is on his Be Better account. He had the flicking off of it. It very well could be that he just, you know, got into some, you know, dark stuff of what was happening, and he knows that even if he uncovers it, like what's going to happen, like there's, you know, stuff that gets uncovered that never comes out fully. It comes out as conspiracies, or he wasn't willing to put, you know, like he says, I'm not willing to, it's not my burden to carry, basically. And maybe he's just already told the right people, so he's just like, my name's Bennett and I ain't in it, and like let the people who have the information do what they want with it. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that this wasn't true, that it was from monetization. I don't know. I personally feel that it could have had legs, and maybe he did, didn't want, like he didn't want no smoke. But we know that Ryan is very powerful. We know that even Sarowitz has said he's, some stuff about them as far as who he feels committed the arson. Against his home. So we don't know. And I was just talking about this the other day. I was just like, yeah, there's certain aspects of this case that do get dangerous. The Van Jam part that a lot of videos have been getting silenced over. And that's why I don't personally report on that. I mean, I dabble here and there, like what other citizens are saying, but I kind of stay away from all that. But yeah, so that's the latest on the Be Better stuff. I just wanted to update you guys. That bombshell was pretty crazy. We thought something crazy was going to drop. Obviously, we always knew he wasn't going to drop it because that was the whole point of the video. He was looking for someone that was brave enough to do it. So we'll see. We'll see if someone got the information and something comes out in the future. It's definitely something to keep our eyes on it, but it seems like maybe he's dipped out. Okay. Coffee for today is not gas station coffee. It is instant Folgers with pumpkin spice creamer. That's what I'm doing. So I got to buy some pumpkin spice creamer with the Buy Me a Coffee money. Okay, so and then we're moving on to why I think it had legs. Okay, why did I think Be Better stuff had legs? Well, at the same time, around a couple hours in between, I forget because this was a couple weeks ago, but there was a point where Blake Lively got on Instagram and decided to post about Covenant House. And what was really weird is that a lot of people were saying that this dark stuff had to do with being stuck in traffic, if you guys know what that means. And Covenant House is like an anti-being stuck in traffic kind of organization or whatever. So they take in like runaways or, young people ages 18 to 24, like homeless. So it was really weird because there's been some controversy around this, and it came up during all of this that it could possibly be Blake's work with Covenant House and all the stuff that's behind the scenes going on with that organization when it comes to PDF files and things like that. So something to do with like whoever ran the organization in the past. There was some allegations and they donated a bunch of money to it, blah, blah, blah. But then this comes out. And it was really strange that it came out around the same time. Not only that, but Bushbird's racism. Examples: Don't Look Me in the Eyes, the Blackface, the Plantation Wedding, all those stories. So then she takes her stories and posts this. So he was or I think it's they, the Bushbirds. I think it's Chad and Elena. Yeah, that's who it is. So I say he, but they thought that this had, they weren't talking about the Marcos stuff or all that. They thought that maybe she posted this because the guy in the video that Covenant House made is African American, and she, people were like, she'll never beat the allegations. So she somehow posting this to be like, look, here I am uplifting the African American community. That was just a little what some citizens were saying that like maybe this is why she posted it. Had nothing to do with the Marcos stuff. So I thought that was interesting. I did think it was interesting with the Marcos stuff that like it hadn't been brought up before. I didn't even know Blake worked with Covenant House, and then all of a sudden it gets brought up, and then she posts something on it. So is this SEO manipulation? I'm not sure what it is, but because citizens were yapping on this, not just last week, but the week before that. And this was what Justice for BJS was saying. In the antebellum era, a Black person, especially an enslaved person, looking directly into a white person's eyes could be seen as an act of disrespect, defiance, or challenge to the racial hierarchy. And then it says, Blake Lively wants to return to a time of cute hats and slavery, which was her antebellum era or whatever on her preserved website. So people started to talk about that, like, the whole fact that she didn't want Jamie to look her in the eye, because there was a point in time where people were like saying that he looked at her while she was like, he looked at her breasts, and I'm like, no, y'all, read the filing. It says he looked her in the eye. So it's like, what is not where you would want someone to look if you were partially undressed or whatever? Like, what if you want to look at your eyes and not your breasts? Like, I don't understand. So people were saying that, and then somebody posted to Reddit. So this is 5 days ago. It's a really long read about the RR and BL's racist history and how they are now targeting JH to silence him and to shame his wife. And someone writes, litigious Blake Lively writes, this is one of the forums that I used to go catch up on. It ends with lawsuits over on Reddit. So check them out. But it says, this was a good read, impressive read, good research from the author. Wish this article goes viral. Saw this a few days ago. And then it says, Soup also has a great documentary on it. So I was like, this is interesting. And I pulled up both. So here's the Medium article, and I'll link the Medium article and Soup's video in the description. I ran out of time to go back. I was still setting up the show and then making coffee and stuff. So Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds tried to prevent a black man from defending himself in court. So this is when they were trying to shield him from not being able to testify. And they want all private footage of his wife. And it's a 25-minute read, y'all, but it is very thorough. It goes into everything. It's got, her darkening a man to put her feet on him. It says, I understand. Hold on one second. Let me mute myself real quick. Okay, y'all, sorry. My mic. Okay, hold on. Let me go see if I have a video playing or something, because that's what happened last time. See if that fixes it. Let me know if the sound is still bad. I don't see any video playing actively. Let me go look. I don't see any video playing, because that's what happened last time when my mic was going out. But did it just start when the Barbie video was playing? Was it glitchy? Let me know if it's still glitchy, y'all. Let me see. Sounds better now? Okay, sounds good. Okay, so it's better. Okay. I don't know what happened. I didn't have no video up. I don't know. Maybe it's the way I had the laptop, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so I fixed it. Okay, well, thank you, DFJ, for giving me a call. I need to check the chat. How can we get CJ's attention about the crackling? Yeah, I don't know why it was crackling. I didn't have a video. Because last time I thought maybe it was crackling because of that. But, all right, so luckily it was only for a couple minutes. Let me see what all did. When did I go off? So I'm just gonna keep going with this article, the Medium article. I'll just keep going from here. And I don't know when I started glitching. Was it after the Be Better? When did I start glitching, y'all? Oh, you guys said, yeah, you're absolutely correct. TikTok sponsors his sports interests. So it says my mic was glitching. So that was when. It's Shapiro. I don't know. What was I talking about, y'all? Can somebody catch me up so I know which slide to pull up, or? No, it started after the Barbie video. Don't move. Don't move. It sounds better. Okay, I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna leave it here. So I'm just gonna start with this. So we were basically just talking about how a lot of citizens are basically saying that, the racist allegations are coming back up and people are coming for receipts, and they are going back. So the whole theme of the show is we have to go back. So people are going back, and somebody decided to bring it all the way back to this antebellum period and to just put it all in one place in this like nice, neat Medium article. And so they go like really into depth into everything. They go into the woman who died on the set of Deadpool. They go into the Boone Hall plantation stuff, and they just start to add everything up. Look, this is the one that got me. This is the tables next to the slave cabins where they had their dinner and like their guests eating, I guess. Yeah, that one got me. I was like, okay, this might have legs now. And so it goes into like everything that they, basically all their own actions. Everybody goes back down to Jamie Heath and Natasha Heath and who they are. She is Colombian and white, so she is mixed as well, and she helps she does postpartum healing practices. And it even says like that she was in the Latin version of Dancing with the Stars, called Mi Sueño es Bailar. It goes into how she performed traditional Colombian dances and just who Natasha Heath is, which is so great to hear because you get to see who she is and her story and all the story of her and Jamie Heath. So anyways, it's a great article. You guys should go check it out. I'm going to link it at the bottom here. And then it was this video. I've never seen it before, but it was recommended there. And then it was recommended on my TikTok live last night. The downfall of Blake Lively, the mean girl who ruined her career. So yeah, last night I got on live while I was putting the show together to ask the citizens, like, what do y'all think I should include? And then somebody talked about this video. So I'm going to play it real quick, just this little portion of it. But the whole video is really, really good. And this is from a year ago. So a lot of people are bringing this stuff back. So remember, this just got brought back on a Reddit post, Swoop's video. So this is from a year ago when this, first came down, the downfall of Blake Lively, the mean girl who ruined her career. So, yeah, let's look at it.
And what better way to accomplish that than with a lifestyle blog? So that's when around 2014, Blake launched her new blog/e-commerce site, Preserve. And I'll bet you're wondering, Swoop, Preserve what exactly? Judging by their first cover spread featuring a clothing company called Magnolia Pearl, they want to preserve the good old days. Yes, that's right. The same Magnolia Pearl who launched a collection called Plantation 2012, where you too can preserve the iconic aesthetic of the good old days where folks were plowing fields and whipping slaves. I'm just like, what in the Mason-Dixon Confederate couture? At least the mood is on brand with the plantation wedding. Now, obviously, there's a lot to critique here, but are they wearing literal rags? I think they're wearing burlap sacks and charging a premium for it. Like, I'm just like, what was the vision? Aside from, maybe come spend hundreds to look like you found clothing at the bottom of a cow pie, run over by a tractor that may or may not have racist undertones. So, fun fact.
So she ends up going like into more of the racist undertones and all that stuff. But I just thought it was just funny because this was from a whole year ago. And now, there's more allegations piling up. Like there's more and more things. And we'll get into some more of the stuff later on in the show that citizens are talking about within the last 2 days of things that they feel that may have racist undertones to them. So it's a good video overall. Since we're going back, go back and check out Swoop's video. She's Swoop over on YouTube. And like I said, I'm going to link all this stuff. When I end the show, I'll go ahead and edit it and put all the creators mentioned and all the links to like at least the articles and the videos that I'm showing here. And usually I do that before, but I just didn't have time. But yeah, so that's a good one to watch, y'all. Swoop. And then Justice for BJS is like, this is the woman Blake Lively is bullying this time. Blake Balaki Face Lively is going to sit back, watch hours of a birth video, and sexualize it. And people are just pissed. Like people were literally pissed. And I know I missed out on this. This was like 2 weeks ago. Everyone talked about it, but I hadn't talked about it yet. So that's why I put it in the show. Mama Tasha is a postpartum educator, Pilates instructor, dancer, Cerrada and Sobada practitioner, wife, mama of 4, bonus grandma with the mission to empower women and their support team through postpartum. And when I read that, I was like, look at what she's doing. And then look at what is like she's helping women during postpartum, which is one of the hardest things to go through for women. And Blake is over here, selling hairspray bottles, like full on hairspray bottles for your hair, destroying the ozone with it. Like, I don't even know if it was, I just remember that video of her and her niece and spraying like tons of spray bottles, hairspray on it. I don't know if it's like the same kind, if those bottles are still the ozone breaking was. I don't know. I sound curmudgeon-y now, like you're messing up the ozone. But what I'm saying is like she's selling alcohol and hair products. Like, what are you doing for the world? Like, here's a woman who is doing something for the world, and you're like up her neck trying to get her to produce a birth video because you know that it wasn't corn, but you thought it was, but now you know it wasn't. You know it was just a birth video, but you still wanted to prove that you thought it was corn. Doesn't matter what you thought. The whole point is that it wasn't. Like, a jury's just going to laugh you straight out of the courtroom with this. And so shout out to Natasha Heath. At the very least, it helped me know about her because I didn't know anything about her. And I got to deep dive into who she is, what she's doing for the world. And shout out to her because she's really making a difference. So the very least, that's what she did. And I listened to this podcast episode. It might have already been brought up, but I just wanted to bring it up. It's called Motherhood, Parenting, Postpartum, and Supportive Husbands with Natasha Heath. I'll link it at the bottom here. And the part that I liked was Natasha Heath, a woman of Colombia and descent. And it's literally Jamie Heath giving the introduction of his wife. And the way he talks about her is just so sweet. And Liz Plank, this was in 2023 before any filming, March 27th, 2023. But is it just me or does she always seem like kind of like a hater on that podcast? Like the last couple ones that I've watched, like she's always like, oh, like it's giving like a little bit of hater energy. Like she doesn't want to be there. Like, I don't know. It's weird how she interacts with them. So I don't know. Y'all can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Who else got Ralphful got a membership. Cool. It says, I'm just kind of reading the chat, y'all. Oh, somebody from Ireland. Yes. Love it. Good morning, Joe. I saw you giving Bocce her flowers. That was cool over on X. I got to catch up over there, so that was cool. We're gonna get into some of the Bocce stuff. She had some good stuff that I got to catch up on. Yes, we might not let people forget about this. Blake has said so many lies about these wonderful people, and New York Times printed it for the masses. Yes, so that's why we have to go back because we got to go back and keep bringing this stuff up to the forefront because it is relevant and it becomes more relevant as more stuff comes out. So let's go ahead and continue with our very own Ludwig, the sniffing dog, who gives us the updates on like breakdowns for Little Girl Attorney and Not Actually Golden, and a couple other stuff that I think or maybe he only does those two creators. But I love these little things because they help us catch up super quick. So it says, what Lively wanted. Okay, Little Girl Attorney, the birthing video ruling. Judge grants access but shuts down Lively's push for harsh sanctions. What Lively wanted. Live shown an actual birth video. Heath insisted it was only a post-birth clip. She wanted the court to block Heath from offering any evidence on this issue at trial. Oh, now am I sounding crazy? Hold on one second. I don't know what it is. Like, let me go see. What is it? Let me double check if I have any videos. Maybe because I just played that one video of, I wonder why I haven't moved or anything. Maybe it was the suit video. Let me see. I'm going to close down all the windows of any video. I wonder why I keep cracking up. Let me know if it's gotten better or worse. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm just using the laptop mic. Could it be shitty weather? No, it's probably Shapiro. Because at this point, I don't have any videos going. Crackle is wacko. Okay, it's still crackling. There's no videos playing. Let me see if I set the laptop on the table, maybe. Let me know if that fixed it. if it sounds better. Okay. Okay, did that help me putting it on the, okay, so better. Okay, so it's better. Okay, y'all saying it's better, so hopefully it is. Hold on, that's not the one I wanna share though, but I was not on that one yet, so let me just go back to what I was on. It's always technical difficulties, y'all, but, we get through them. Okay, Ludwig, we were on the Ludwig one. Okay, let me just... It's cracking again. Okay, why is it cracking again? Y'all, this sucks. Let me go double check everything. Because last time I thought it was because I had a video playing, but I'm like, I don't see any videos playing. I don't think I had any videos on Reddit. Let me check all the Reddit tabs. So it's still crackling for y'all? That's so weird. It's in and out, okay? It's still crackling, huh? Let me do one more go around and see if it's a video that's playing in the background. Might have been that one, that Colleen Hoover one. Okay, did it Colleen Hoover one playing in the background? It was an X post. Did it get fixed? Okay, I'm just gonna talk. I think I fixed it because there was Colleen Hoover's video was playing on Reddit or on an X post. No, it's just the laptop. It's turning. No, I tried to get out and come back in. I don't have a mic. It's just the laptop mic. It's still glitching. Okay, let me just go check to see if there's any other ones because that one was going. Maybe there might be like another video on X that I just don't see. Is it crackling to where? Let me look over here and see if I'm still... It's weird, it wasn't crackling in the beginning. I tried to log out and log back in. And last time I was like, it was because there was a video playing in the background. But I'm going through every single tab just to double check and make sure there's no video playing. Nope, I went through every single tab. There's no video playing. So y'all still can't hear me, huh? Have I tried throwing it against the wall? No, I haven't. Just like I have a screaming toddler. Hit the like 127 people and only 55 likes. Well, they can't hear me, so they can't hit the like. They're like, dude, let's it could be your microphone. I mean, I don't know. I have it set on the table, so I was like, can y'all... thank you to Jesse and Max, aka Asshole Media, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Y'all, am I still... Just go out and go back in. I already did. I went out and went back in. You're clear to me, but every 30 seconds you break up. This is, oh, you went AWOL. Like, people were like, where did you go? Because I should at least just put something up like, yo, I'm going to be, busy with holiday stuff this week and just let y'all know. And that way you guys aren't, because there's people, like, I had so many messages when I came back, like, where are you? What happened? But I really love the citizens kept me updated. Y'all sent me a lot of stuff so that I could come back and get updated. But it is still crackling. Hold on one sec. Okay, DFJ or Laura, if y'all want to just private chat me, because I just missed the call, but is it still crackling, y'all? It's still crackling. Okay, let me go back out. Maybe it is. Okay, so if I just don't have anything up here, can you guys just hear me if I don't have anything up here? I don't have a link to private chat you. It's the same link. It's always the same link that you guys always have. But it's still crackling. Okay. How about now? Oh yeah, I love that. I'm not there anymore. Leave me be. Does it extend to you too? We can hear you. It's just crackly still. Dang. I wish I could figure out what it was. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? I'm just tilting it. Maybe it's like where the mic is. Can you guys hear me now? Because I had it like, let me know if it's good now. Yes. Okay. So maybe it was on the blanket. Maybe I just need to tilt it. I don't know what the heck. I don't even know if this stuff works. Because last time I thought it worked and then it didn't work. Okay. So, let me go back and okay, so now you guys can, okay, we fixed it. So sorry, now it's gonna be longer. Now we're just gonna have to like scroll past the audio issues. Hopefully we didn't lose too many of you. But okay, so here is the rest of Ludwig's thing. What the court actually did, the court ordered Heath to turn over the additional videos. Why the videos must be produced. The court found the request technically fell within an earlier unopposed motion to compel because Heath didn't oppose it then, he must comply now. The judge framed this as a dispute over interpreting the wording of the discovery, not as a case of withholding discovery intentionally. So that's where a lot of people got confused because they're like, well, if he didn't do it intentionally and he didn't get the court warned about confidentiality, basically that, any leak is going to be like explicit, like he gave the court explicit warning, basically saying like there'd be severe consequences if anybody leaked it. There was no evidentiary ban for Heath, so he could still testify in the courtroom. How the judge evaluated the sanctions, he said the court weighed, the willfulness, reason for non-compliance, basically said that it was a mistake of how he read the order sanctions. So he didn't sanction him, but he did say you have to provide the video. And citizens went wild as to why. And somebody had pulled this up over on Reddit as to why Blake had thought about like why that video wasn't sacred to her and stuff. So once that decision came, people just started to dig up stuff. So somebody dug up this article from today where it says Ryan Reynolds played Let's Get It On as Blake Lively gave birth to their daughter. So it's this whole theory that she like sexualizes birth. and that her and Ryan both do, because like they played Let's Get It On, which is my doctor was laughing so hard that I thought she was gonna drop our baby. And so she tells this story, and then Ryan Reynolds also opens up about the delivery choices during Late Night with Seth Meyers, and talks about how he played Let's Get It On as well. He says, I think I just caught her right in the middle of a contraction. She was pretty much making jokes the entire time. So it's like the day they had a water birth and they were like saying prayer over the child, whereas they were playing Let's Get It On and making jokes and all this stuff. So a lot of people were like, well, this just goes to show why she may have sexualized birth. So let me, so I sound okay now? You guys were good? You caught alive? Okay. We're gonna get into your stuff right now. I just can't see people be going, Bachi. I had not crackling on mine, did earlier, but it stopped now. Okay, so y'all, all the crackling fixed? Audio is still crackling for me. Glad to see CJ back. I have missed CJ. Yes. I'm glad to be back, and it was really cool to get updates from you and like all the other creators. Blake Lively had a C-section tummy tuck combo. I bet she probably only has kids for the tummy tucks. Well, a lot of people suggested that maybe she did have a C-section, and that's why she didn't like. She thought it was porn because she's like, "Wait, what is this?" She didn't know what somebody giving birth. But it's still crackling. It's still crackling. Okay, well, let's I'm wondering what it is. Is it maybe this video? Let me see. Let me close this window. It like fixes and then it doesn't. Is it still crackling now? I closed those two windows. Is it still crackling, y'all? Let me know. Are we just doing the show through the crackles? It might. And then it plays, but let me know if it's still. Thank y'all. We all love CJ. We have a good crowd. We lost a couple with the audio issues, but yeah, it is. It's still crackling. Okay, I have no idea, y'all. Like, I wish that I could just have like a really cool show, because I have a good show for y'all. But it's probably annoying to have to listen to it through the crackling. Let me double check everything, but I don't see anything that's audio related. It's sounding a bit better. Oh, it's back. Yep, still crackling. It sounds a little better. No, I don't know. It doesn't happen a lot. It happened on my last stream too, but we thought that it was maybe because there was a video playing in the background. But with this, I don't see no video playing in the background. I mean, I've double checked everything. So I don't know. It gets better when I talk faster. Why is that? He doesn't want you to get the word out. Is that what it is? I don't know. It is when I'm like talking about all this other stuff. Let me just see. Let me try and pull this up. Let me see. So here I have Asshole Media's post. Let me see. Is there any audio? No, there's no audio. So Asshole Media was giving Bocce her flowers over here on this post. It says Jenny Slate also had a shit attitude on birthing, and this is something that Bocce had caught over on her channel, where it says where there was once a man telling you when to have a C-section, there is now a woman being like, you're not a feminist unless you give birth in a tub in your house. And so I don't know exactly, Bocce, you're oh wait, now it sounds okay. Okay, go get your plug-in mic. I can't, because I don't even have it the function to plug it into the laptop. It was not a birth video. It was a family video after their daughter was born. So yeah, like a lot of people keep saying that it was birthing, but it was after the fact. And yes, please go check out Bocce Go Hawks' stuff. Here's her link. Laura has linked it. I swear it's Ryan. Yeah, because I mean, it's not on the blanket anymore. I have it propped up. Only thing I think is maybe there's a video somewhere and I just don't see it. Like it's playing and I just don't see it. So I'm just gonna keep going, y'all. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Either we shut down due to audio difficulties, or we just try to talk really, really fast so that maybe you guys can hear me. 2 times we don't see anything that's playing in the background, but I do have a ton of windows open because it's like it's a lot. But it's basically everything I went through to catch up. So maybe I will split it into 2 shows. Because we're not able to get through it fast enough because y'all can't hear me. So obviously that doesn't make a good show if there's no audio. Oh, maybe it was that was playing in the back. Hold on. This little watch ad. Okay, did it fix? Because of one of the articles. Did it fix, y'all? Wait, the slower I speak, the better? I can shut it down. You want to start a new live stream? Yeah, I say power through. It's getting better. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Because I did see a watch ad that was like playing in one of the articles that out. So I muted that watch ad. It might have just been that was playing in the back. Let me know if it got better. Let me know if it got better, y'all. It gets better for a few minutes. It's glitching it. No, not getting better. It was porn. She wanted her SH claims to have more merit. Now she's just punishing Mr. Heath. It gets better and then it gets worse. It's usually because she has 100 tabs open. Refreshing the tabs might work. Okay, let me try that. Let me go and try that. Y'all can just chat for a minute. I will go and try refreshing the tabs and see if that works. But it's weird because I didn't change anything from. So that's the weird part. Okay, so I refreshed all the tabs. Does it sound better or worse? Did it work? Girl, different time post because no, those are all paused. Does it sound better now that I refreshed all the tabs? Let me know if I sound better now, y'all. I refreshed everything. So that's my last attempt, and then maybe we just call it at an hour and do part 2 tonight. So let me know. Sounds better. I do. Keep talking. I think it sounds better. Did I fix it? Okay, that helped. Okay, well, whatever that was. So I refreshed all the tabs. CJ the tab master. Dude, I have so many tabs open. I was like, do I just like put this into 2 shows? Do I just try and like call it? I was like, dude, I'm just going to hang out with y'all this morning. We can't assess unless I keep talking. Okay, so everybody's saying it's better. So I'm just going to go. I'll come back and check. I think it's fixed. So thank you to DFJ for saying to refresh all the tabs. Seems like that worked. Okay. The next tab that we had was This really cool thing I wanted to share, but I'm gonna have to share it in the description because I can't play it because she cusses so much. I'm just gonna play like the very end of it. But it's by Bacon Eggy _ Peggy Pugh. If Laura or DFJ can put it in the chat to go follow her. She is so funny. This video is like one of the best things I've seen all week. It's only a minute long, but there's a lot of cussing in it, so I don't know if I can play it because I'm monetized. But you guys need to go check it out, and I'll put it in the description. It's like, how are you going to want to be an actress, producer, director, production staff, and every other title, but then get mad when you're involved in making creative decisions? So I'm just going to play the last part for y'all.
That you were involved? She is so raggedy. Ooh, she is so raggedy. I hope she stepped on 10,000 Legos and her toenail break off.
She's basically like, you're going to get mad that you're involved. You're so raggedy. I hope you step on some Legos. I love it. She goes in on it, and she's right. She's like, you wanted to be your hands in everything, and then when they wanted to share the video for a creative decision, you got mad at them for sharing it. Like, so ridiculous. So I love that. And then we also had this from Lawyered Up One. He had a different opinion on the birth video. He said Judge Liman was not wrong. Discovery rules are very liberal. Under Rule 26B1, parties may get discovery regarding relevant non-privileged items, but a majority of these items obtained in discovery won't even be admissible at trial. And then our very own Lauren replied, my main issue isn't with the judge, but with the request itself. Blake is wrong for demanding this. She knows she shouldn't be violating this woman's privacy this way. BL is flailing and has been. Her claims are not supported by the evidence. A lot of folks don't understand the elements of SH and retaliation, and that all the elements must be established in order for BL to win. So that's what Lawyered Up had replied. And we're going to get into the elements of SH and retaliation and stuff, and how the MSJ and the M job come into play at the very end of the show. But I just wanted to show the differing opinions and how like this birthing video had even people from the same Baldoni camp thinking differently about it. Some people were like, this is insane. Other people were like, I see why they did it. Cassidy is O'Connell over on YouTube. She's one that was like, oh, here goes Judge Liman again, jumping through hoops for Blake, no matter who it hurts. And she went into the elements of why she thought that the decision didn't make any sense, including the fact that she goes into how, am I not showing the tab? Yeah, I'm not showing the tab. Hold on. Here we go. Sorry about that. I'm glad I realized it soon enough. So I didn't get to show the Lawyered Up One post, but here he is. It was a reply to Lauren's breaking news about it. And he basically says the Rule 26B thing that I just read. So there's the tab for that. But then Cassidy O'Connell made this video, and I love her thumbnails of like what she does with Judge Liman and stuff. But she just says that, you know, he should have shown the same grace that he's shown other third parties on Lively side to Natasha Heath and stuff. So it was a good watch. I got to catch up and see like another aspect of everything. And then we get into the whole Colleen Hoover of it all, because why was I laughing so hard reading this article, you guys? Like, I'm not gonna go through the whole article, but just the stuff that made me like, I couldn't wait to share it with you guys, because I was literally I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, does this author hate her? I don't know who Kaylee Webley Adler is, if this was like a hit piece on her without her knowing, or like if they helped her write it or tell her what to say. But there was some funny moments. Like there's one where she's like, she moved from a Diet Coke town to a Diet Pepsi town. No, she says something like, there's only Diet Pepsi and no Diet Coke. Like she has it so rough. Where is that part? Let me see. Right here. Other than her gripe about the hardships of being a Diet Pepsi addict in a Diet Coke town, this was giving people are dying Kim. If you know, you know, the meme with Kourtney Kardashian, which is like, people are dying Kim. Like, what? The hardship of being a Diet Pepsi addict in a Diet Coke town? Like, while everything is happening in the world, this is what they choose to write about. She's trying to, like, I don't know, rehab her reputation after what we saw in all those text messages with Colleen and Justin Baldoni. But that part made me laugh. And then this part where she's like, where is it? Where she's like, she sold more books than God. Where is that part? Is it up here? Oh my God, that part had me like, right here. One runs out of superlatives when attempting to sum up Hoover's success. The woman has sold more books than God. I'm like, what? You guys, like, they're uplifting her as higher than God, y'all. Like, what is this? Like, how is this not God? Seriously, like, not God. I was like, I cannot wait to, like, see everybody and, like, get to talk to y'all with it, because I was so gagged when that part came up. The woman sold more books than God. Like, you guys are literally she is certainly high. Knowing that a court can force someone to show themselves naked and exposed in a forum known for doxing to people known to defame through the industry is what's mind-blowing. And then with the Be Better stuff, I was like, what are they gonna do with that footage? Like, I don't know. That they just got dark. I was like, I hope that footage doesn't end up somewhere. Like, we've seen it happen before. We've seen, like, all kinds of stuff leak that's not supposed to be leaked. So, yeah. So, anyways, let's continue because it was just hilarious. Let me see. There was another part that I was just like, oh, it was where the one lady who writes, is it here? The one lady who writes, she wrote for 13 going on 30, where she's just like, she's just so great. And she doesn't, like, sometimes I felt like it was slights at Justin Baldoni. Like, she doesn't have to show what she's doing. She just does it. She's just a go-getter. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, it was just too much. And then, like, her trying to, like, say, like, oh, we were so poor, and oh, like, now we have money for, like, cool stuff, or, like, I don't know, she's trying to, like, seem relevant, but it was just coming off materialistic. It was not giving. Um, so it just goes into, like, her whole life. Anyways, it is really hilarious. If you guys wanna read something funny, just read through the whole thing because there's so many funny parts. Like, I keep going back and forth on whether this lady just does not like her and it was, like, a hit piece. Like, y'all remember when Rolling Stone went over to Johnny Depp's house and wrote about him and how badly they wrote? Like, they're like, "Oh, I went into the house to, like, use the bathroom, and then, I saw this in his house," and, like, just basically, like, trying to, like, bring him down. So I don't know if it was, like, one of those, like, a hit piece, like, disguised as, like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna give you good PR." I don't know. Y'all can tell me if Elle is considered a pro Blake or pro Baldoni, because this just did not do her any favors. But one of the things that the ex people were talking about, citizens, it's like the thing about Colleen and Blake is you'll always catch them lying. So let's watch this video real quick.
This was inspired by true characters, but it was completely fiction. Like, they were nothing like my parents. Their situation was nothing like my parents. So it wasn't like I took their story and, rewrote it. It literally, the casserole scene where he the first time is what happened between my mother and father when he for the first time. So that was basically the only scene that I didn't completely invent. And so I don't think it was harder in that sense or took any longer. This was inspired by true character.
So she says that it was, and then she says that it wasn't. And then in that interview, she's like, "Oh, it was my parents' story," and she's completely distraught about it because it was my parents' story, and now my parents' story is ruined. It's like, make up your mind. Is it your parents' story? Is it not your parents' story? And in the article, she talks about, like, I don't care if people say that I'm not writing correctly about domestic violence. It was my mom's story. But then later, she's like, no, it was not. Other than the one scene, it was all pure fiction. So yeah, she's just digging a hole deeper, and I'm just glad that Colleen's back in the chat and people are, like, staying on her neck because, uh, like, she kinda, like, it ebbs and flows. Like, people forget, and then it's like, "Oh, we're worried about other people." Like, Claire had her moment, Liz Plank had her moment, but I'm like, "Okay, I'm glad Colleen is back in the spotlight because now with all the receipts, the text." So this article, people think that all this unsealing of evidence, they're coming out to try and, like, save their reputations. Like, "Oh my gosh, all this stuff is coming out." And so this is an attempt. It's a bad attempt at that. But Bocce, if she's still in here, shout out to Bocce because she had the best video on this Colleen stuff. It's called Colleen Hoover Breaks Silence and Probably Shouldn't Have. It's a short 4-minute video over on her YouTube channel. You guys can go watch it, but it literally calls out all of her contradictions and, like, BS. It is, I felt like, the best summary of the Colleen Hoover situation. And how, like, girl, what did you do? Like, what are you doing? Like, I would pull the Baldoni approach and just stay quiet and not come out of the woodworks. Like, she doesn't have to. So that concludes the first half of the show. We're gonna get into the docket updates of it all with Miss Carol Snyder. I love that Yarn in Law posted this on their stories. It's I think Yarn in Order over on TikTok. That's one of the new channels that I've been following, and it's really cool because she's she basically helps she's a jury consultant. She helps people pick juries. And so it's really interesting, like the aspects that she has on this whole case. But anyway, so she reposted Carol Snyder, who runs docketupdates.com. Please give her a follow if you're following Lively versus Wayfair. So we're going to get into how I caught up with this case, which is through docketupdates.com. You guys, this is so cool. Docket Updates now has this cool little button. Let me refresh this real quick. And let me click off all these over here. Make sure nothing starts playing. Okay. Let me see. Oh, is it still cackling? Or was that old? Oh, wait, that's old up in the chat. Carol deserves all the flowers. She's so amazing. Okay, yeah, we're going to get into the whole Carol of it all because I love it. Okay, I'm good. That was just old chat. Okay. Yes, so we're going to get into the Carol of it all right now. So this is Docket Updates, and you guys, let me refresh it so that you guys can see the little button that pops up when it gets refreshed. Do you guys see this? Thank you for visiting. We hope you found the site incredibly helpful. Did that pop up in the corner? I don't know if it popped up or not. But anyways, there's this little coffee cup. So that pops up, and then if you click it, or you can click the little coffee cup. And you can now buy Docket Updates a coffee. We made $40 on our stream. So thank you to everyone who donated, Miriam and all the other members who donated for the Docket Updates stream that we did to raise money for Docket Updates. So I gave her that $40. She's super grateful for it. That was between ad revenue for the episode and super chats. So everything that we made on that episode with ads and super chats, we donated. We were able to buy her 13 coffees with that. So thank you, chat, for doing that. And it's really cool. So now you can actually go in there if it's useful for you. If you're a content creator and you use this often, you can donate a couple coffees. So it's $3 for one cup of coffee. You can donate as many as you want, 3 or 5, or you can put however many you want in there. And what I love about it too is it has its own page. So if you expand it to see more, it tells you a little bit about what Docket Updates is. Docketupdates.com is a free site dedicated to making those interested in the BL versus WP case, Wayfair parties, and BL is Blake Lively, find legal filings easier to follow and more accessible for everyone. No need for a Pacer account or how to navigate Court Listener. I share court documents, creator content, and curated pages to help readers stay informed and easily be available to follow along. This project is a passion of mine, and I don't expect donations. The site is and will remain free. But after a few kind folks asked how they could support the work, I created this page. If you'd like to help out, thank you. If not, just keep, this is my favorite part, just keep reading, sharing, and staying curious. I love that part. Stay curious. That's more than enough. And that's what this whole site is. Like, it's such a blessing to like Team Baldoni and stuff because you can access everything. And this is how I caught up. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did it. So I was out of the loop for 2 weeks, as you guys know, since last Monday's stream. And I'm going to show you guys how useful Docket Updates is for us who are going to be in like the holiday hoopla, who want to kind of stay updated. I'm going to show you guys how to do that through here. And look, there's Bocce supporting our girl Carol. And you can see all the supporters here. Shirsty Flaw also supported her. And I wanted to feature this comment right here because they said, great website. I'll promote the hell out of it. I don't have much reach, but I'll do what I can. I'll get the word out by commenting in fan groups since I am not big on posting content. So, they're doing just like every little bit helps. Like, I'll at least post this into fan groups and let them know this is available because come trial, this is going to be like clutch for anyone that's new coming onto the case. And I have encouraged Carol to start a Docket Updates YouTube so that she can do like a sitemap thing, show people how to navigate it, show people how to do like where the latest updates will be and all that stuff. She already has some of that on TikTok. I'm like, port it over here to YouTube so all us YouTubers can start getting the hang of how to use it. So by the time trial comes, we're pretty much experts. But it's pretty easy, like to kind of navigate on your own. But I know there was still a lot of people asking her where like stuff was and all that stuff. So hopefully, maybe she does that. And if in the meantime, I can highlight it on my show as much as I can to get people to go over there. But we have 26 supporters. I want to try to get her to 100 supporters by the end for Christmas. So if you guys want to go support the website and if you find it useful, please consider going to go over there and buying a coffee for Docket Updates. So I'm going to show you guys now how exactly I caught up. So I went into the latest news blog. Yes, y'all are doing the Lord's work. Yep, exactly. That's how I feel about this. It's just an incredible site. So I went to latest updates, and then I went to the 17th, which was the last time. Remember, my stream was on the 16th. So this is what happened. Stephanie Jones's motion to compel filed 11/13 was replied with 2 oppositions today by Katie Case and Wayfair parties. The reason for the oppositions included NDAs in place with tag and lack of timeliness. All 3 filings can be found here. Then you scroll up. Judge Liman denies in part the part that would preclude Jamie Heath from testimony on birthing the video, and grants in part the part to produce all footage and attorney fees for this sanction. So he did have to produce attorney fees, but he didn't get harsher sanctions on it. And that we talked about that and how the citizens were up, and it was an uproar. The whole birthing video, it was a crazy time during that time when this came out. So and there you can find all the dockets, and you can find all the creators. Like, we even have This Is Dana Bowling there, BB Well. So you can just click on it and you'll see all the creators from TikTok that are in there. So you can catch up on what people are saying. Here, judge denies on the 18th, Blake Lively sanctions on Melissa Nathan. Now, if you guys remember, that was because there was redactions that Melissa Nathan made that weren't like in the proper format. And she was at this point just trying to sanction people just to get a PR, like, I don't know, maybe if it was a lot of people thought it was for PR spin, because she was just random, like, you get a sanction. It was during a time when like things weren't going her way, and it seemed like she was just filing these for to get the heat off of her, I would say. So the 18th, Judge Liman granted Jennifer Abel's request to seal and redact number 947-1. You can go see what that document is in there. It's linked. 11/18th, Brian Friedman files an opposition to BL's motion for leave to file supplement to Rule 11. So this was the other big thing that happened that week, which was this letter over on It Ends With Us. They said, filed by Friedman himself. So Friedman is back in the chat. I don't know if you guys caught it in the description, but I put the FRITZTASTIK 2 weeks, because that's the new word that people are calling Fritz. They're like, it's FRITZTASTIK, and there's like a whole sticker. So I don't know if that's just like a TikTok thing, but I've seen the sticker over on TikTok a bunch, and I believe on Reddit. But it's a sticker that says FRITZTASTIK that I love that. So I included it in the description. I was like, it's been a FRITZTASTIK 2 weeks. But this one was by Friedman himself, and was chock full of references to Ryan's subpoena and what they found, even though it was redacted. The cherry on top was the reference to Lively's own motion and Lyman's ruling to strike her earlier deposition transcript when she also couldn't articulate facts to support her claim. Well. And then they're like, kind of a good thing this couple did this. Sometimes we shouldn't be angry when they're acting like toddlers who can't find their pacifier. Hello, Ari. And then I love this, Jeff. Ride or die, remember? Because Ari says Blake and Ryan were the ride or dies. So it's in reference to this part of the letter where they basically say, look, this is what was said, and this is what we found through the subpoena that Ryan said. It's all redacted, so we don't know, but we'll eventually find out. And here they're saying that it's also verified by R.A. Emanuel, who acknowledged responsibility of firing Baldoni. And that's the phone call that Colonel Kurtz has up on her channel. I know she doesn't do Blake Lively and Justin anymore, but she has that call. So if you guys wanted to refresh your memory before all this gets unsealed on what RA said, that call is over on Colonel Kurtz's channel. I mean, I say call. It's the podcast that he was on where he says it. That was given by a journalist that was there, and they thought that it was like, oh, it's gone. The podcast is gone, but somebody had recorded it. So the ride or die comment come back into play. So that's what happened there. And then let me go back here. Okay, so then he filed that on the 19th. BL wants more time to figure out what she'll seal from the MSJ. So this is her initial request for more time. But then it seems like, so then it goes into the 19th. JL orders revised privilege log, but says no to in-camera review since they said those items need not to be disclosed already. Wayfair parties oppose BL's extension, calling it a strategy, not exhibit count or third-party needs. So they're basically opposing that extension that she wanted. They're like, dude, no, she shouldn't get an extension for the unsealing. We want to see it now. The people want to see it now. BL seeks automatic admissions over deadline dispute on the RFAs. And so that one, hold on a second. That one, I had to take my sweater off. It started to get warm. That was in reference to these requests for admissions that she just wants the judge to automatically be like, yes, these requests are all submitted and you're good and you don't have to authenticate anything. And so people think it's because of the 30-point list. The metadata in there shows that it's July 2025 when that was made, not 2023 when she says that she read it out loud. So could this be why she wants the judge to render a decision authenticating everything so the Wayfarer parties can't object? I don't know. So that was some speculation from citizens. And then it seems like the order then gets granted. BL interjects in Stephanie Jones versus Jen Abel regarding the KDK subpoena. Sony says they want what BL wants, 3 more weeks to seal. And then right here, Judge Liman grants BL's 3 weeks times and unsealing. So over on X, they're like, Blake Lively has been granted more time to continue hiding her stuff from us. Why doesn't she want us to see the evidence that Justin found? And then Sony is also asking for an extension of time for the documents attached to the motion for summary judgment and their unsealing. So here's the letter from Sony. So why is Sony and Blake not want stuff to get aired out? So that's why in the description, I was like, look, everyone is going under the bus. It's Colleen. Brendan has entered the chat against Glennar. Jenny Slate. All of this evidence is bringing up everybody all over again. So then we get into the rest of the 20th. So she did get granted that extension, so we're not going to be getting that stuff unsealed anytime now. Judge Liman postpones decision on Blake Lively's Rule 11 additions pending full briefing. So that whole Rule 11 motion, it has to be like re-briefed again. So they each are going to get a chance to talk to the judge again and submit their stuff, and then he's going to make a decision on that. And then it says 11/20, we're getting a hearing on 11/24, and I love that they said call details will be posted soon and will also be on the calendar. So what was cool about this, if you read this in real time, you could click on it and get the phone number and go straight to it. So that's the cool part about docket updates. It's like you get everything all in one spot. And then on the 20th, Katie Case's attorney fires back. No, we didn't withhold anything. BL's attorney knows or should know that. The Wayfarer party's motion to redact parts of Melissa Nathan's deposition. And then the Wayfarer's opposition to Blake Lively's spoliation sanctions. And then we had Jennifer Abel's opposition to Stephanie Jones' spoliation sanctions. And there was a lot of good creators who went over the spoliation sanctions. I didn't really deep dive into all of that because I think that's, it was on the 21st. So that's when I started to get kind of more busy. But there's a lot of creators that have deep dived into it. Let's see. So then it goes into the 21st. Wayfarer parties push back. Blake Lively improperly injects herself into the Stephanie Jones and Jen Abel case. You don't go here. So after she interjected herself into the case, Wayfarer put out a letter themselves and they're like, dude, you don't go here. Like, this is not your thing. Like, they keep intervening. They did the same thing with the Taylor Swift stuff, remember? When they did that letter, when they were seeking all the documents from Taylor. And then it says, Wayfarer parties opposes Blake Lively's motion to deem 557 RFAs as admitted. So they opposed all that stuff that she wanted to get admitted automatically. Says BL mischaracterized their agreement. Then the Wayfarer parties seek clarity on judge's order for signal privilege log updates. So that's the one thing that I found. Remember the Jamie Heath stuff? Like, he misread it. I felt like a lot of that with Judge Liman is like he's not very clear in his instructions because this isn't the first time. I remember Perez Hilton also asked for clarity on one of his motions that he didn't understand. So maybe it's just like a way that the judge does the orders. Like, it's not very clear. Because here they're asking for more clarity on what's expected from that signal privilege log, which they still want. And then here, Harco enters the chat. And if you guys don't know the Harco case, you guys can go into docket updates, go into cases, and it's got the Harco lawsuit. That's the insurance company that that's suing them as well. So it says Harco opposes Wayfair's motion to dismiss the New York Harco lawsuit or stay until the case is resolved. Says New York court, Judge Liman should decide the coverage. So that's something that we're looking at too, is the Harco case simultaneously with this. So that popped off. And then Stephanie Jones denies any wrongdoing, says Jennifer Abel's phone was company property, and cites Jennifer Abel's unclean hands, seeks full dismissal. And one of the creators that went all the way back is Notorious Raven. She went all the way back on the Stephanie Jones thing. And I'm just going to play, it's a 9-minute video. You guys go over to TikTok to watch it. But I'm just going to play the beginning and on what exactly she was going back into.
As today's information has hit the dockets, I am trying to comb through everything and go back to the beginning. And I know that there's been, conversation about, well, this happened here and this happened there, and this conflicts with what these two are saying. But today's documents bring me right back to the beginning. And I think people are forgetting how hostile this situation was in July and August of 2024. And let me remind you, it was not because of these two. It had nothing to do with anything that they were doing that was actively causing hostility behind the scenes. Let me bring you back to page 128 of the documents filed on 1/16. And in section 208, it states, Jones had always been volatile, but her behavior had become downright deranged.
So I'll leave you guys on that cliffhanger, but please go watch that video. She also has other stuff on the Stephanie Jones stuff. She's going all the way back. She also went all the way back on the Van Zandt stuff. So there's a lot of good videos there. There's a lot for me to catch up on as far as like because she's got the Van Zandt series. And I did check out most of those. I think there's 2 that I haven't watched yet. But yeah, she goes all the way back and brings up all the old receipts on that. And so that's kind of the theme of today, is like we have to go back, how all the citizens are now going back. All these receipts, people are going back, cross-referencing it. We also got this, who's afraid of Stephanie Jones? Apparently Katie Case, because some of the depositions that were unsealed, we saw that Katie Case and Melissa Nathan's depositions were different. So it says if this is Melissa Nathan's deposition that says, if Katie Case testified that you did help with the website, help create the website, would it be false under oath testimony? Is that your testimony? And she's saying, yes, it's completely false. Is Katie Case a huge liar? They asked. Apparently so, yes. Okay, what reason does she have to lie about you? And then she's like, I don't know how she is lying about me, apart from her being scared of Stephanie Jones. I don't know any other lies so far unless you tell me them. And so someone cheekily put, who's afraid of Stephanie Jones? Apparently Katie Case. Yeah, so Katie Case, this is part of the reason why they wanted these extra documents in the case. So let me go back here. So this is what the hearing was about. They had a hearing on 11/24 or on 11/23 for that hearing. Let me go over here. So here it was, hearing highlights, non-docket but docket adjacent. So if you weren't on the call, look how cool it is. Docket Updates has it right here. These are the highlights, and I absolutely love it. She even has little personal opinion notes here of like, little questions, like things to think about. But what I loved was point 7 and point 9, which was Fritz coming out. And the judge basically tells Kristen Toller, who is Jonesworks' lawyer, he says, if Fritz all of a sudden decided they wanted to serve a whole bunch of subpoenas, that you would have no ability to come to me and say a third-party discovery is over. So he's kind of calling him out, like, if I grant this, who's to say that everyone's going to be like, oh, discovery is reopened and I want to subpoena this person? Because they basically want to subpoena more documents from Katie Case, because they're like, look, we found in the deposition that there's contradictions and we need more documents from her to like be able to figure this out. And they're like, dude, you should have done this before discovery closed. And then he points out over here on point 9 that fairness cuts both ways. He points out the time they wanted to subpoena and depose a high-level musician, which is Taylor Swift, and they were denied that because it was after discovery closed. And BL shut down that deposition without any showing of prejudice to BL. And the rationale was simply that there was no finding as to why deposition could not have been conducted earlier. He pointed out that Ms. Toller has not made any showing as to why documents that she's seeking now could not have been sought earlier. So he made some really good arguments, and apparently he got the dub, because next thing you know, where is it? It's up here. Right here, 11/26. Judge Liman denied Jonesworks' bid to force late subpoena on KDK. So Fritz got the dub. We got the win on that one. It was great for, our case. He made good points. And then also what happened between that, all parties agreed to extend the sealing deadlines to December 19th and January 9th. So any of the unsealing and all that stuff that was being argued and all that stuff, we're not going to get anything unsealed until after January 9th. Judge Liman order grants the extension for motions to seal until January 9th, meaning we're not seeing anything until after he rules on those motions. So a lot of stuff is going to come out in the new year. And then this is the latest, 11/26. There will be a mini unsealing coming, audio file 2. And that's what Clark is over at the courthouse. I don't know if he's already gotten that or not, but that's going to be coming soon. I don't know what the audio file is exactly. If anybody in the chat knows what the audio file is, you guys can put it in the chat. But this is the latest, and she did such a great job on it, unsealing of everything. She went through everything. Let me show you just like what all that entailed. So here in this motion, as you guys can see in this motion, hold on, is it this one? No, that's the one where he granted it. So hold on. Here in this motion, is it this one? It's one where it basically says everything that he's going to unseal. I think it's this one. Yeah, here it is. So she went through everything. Like, look, it shows which docket is going to remain sealed, which is going to be unsealed. So it's 12 pages of what all is going to be. See, look, exhibit 1. It shows all the exhibits that are going to be unsealed. And what she's been doing over on docket updates is she's going through everything that, because what they're counting on is like people don't go back and check. And then when these unsealing orders, nobody goes back and check. And that's what I love about the TikTok crew. They can literally name like different docket numbers. They'll be like, oh, that's an 875. And they'll know, like, based on memory, especially Bocce and stuff, she'll know which documents she's referencing or like how to navigate them. And docket updates makes it really easy to do that. And especially when you're reading along too on their lives, you can really like deep dive into it. And so then, so we're getting the unsealed dockets here. Hold on one second. Let me go to that tab real quick. Okay, so it's back here. So here it is. So this is the unsealing, and look how cool it is. So it's all here if you guys want to read it here. This is the Jamie Heath timeline. And then you can download it by clicking the 3 dots up there. But look at all the stuff that's in it. So you can like literally just go see everything. You can either click through here and just go like that. And that's what I did. I just went through it all through the book. It was like nighttime reading. But then look, here's everything that wasn't in the book, all the links and all that stuff. And then you have all the TikTok creator links at the bottom of what was being said and all that stuff. And so one thing that I wanted to point out for the Jamie Heath timeline before we get into is this little piece from Little Girl Attorney, Lively versus Wayfair, more thoughts on the unsealed Wayfair timeline. So a lot of people took the timeline and, they were reporting on it and stuff, but I really love this video where she explains what exactly the timeline, Jamie Heath's timeline is, how it's not necessarily contemporaneous because it wasn't written in real time. It was like something that was put together after the fact, but it does have events in chronological order. And a lot of people feel like this is where the lawsuit info timeline came from, bits and pieces from here. So this was in the unsealing for the spoliation stuff. So I guess what they're trying to prove, I know that one part in the timeline says the January 4th meeting with Doug that turned into an HR meeting. And so they're like, see, they knew it was an HR meeting. So that was one of the points that was in the timeline. But I wanted to just play this real quick of what she says in regards to this timeline to just keep in mind as we go through it.
Verify those things. Else. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't disprove anything. And I still think that it is what it does is shows us a window into the experience that Wayfair had working with Lively. So what I'm trying to say is take the detail with a grain of salt because we cannot 100% verify those things. What we will see coming out of depositions is under oath a testimony about what happened at those various events. That will be when we can really know what the Wayfair parties claim to be facts in this case.
So right now, these aren't technically facts because they're just something that was put together based on memory. And it was the VP, the vice president of operations. She's the vice president and she runs operations for Wayfair that helped Jamie put it together. And there was one edit after the fact that it was made in August. And he's saying that he did not edit it after August. So we don't know exactly if this is just based off people's memories and stuff like that. So that's what she says in the video. You guys can go check out her over on YouTube and what she says. And then we have this for the timeline, which I found, I'm going to link it in the description, but it's totally Texas over on It Ends With Lawsuits. And they broke it all down, like what's inside the filings. And this was really helpful for me because I could just catch up really quickly. Like, okay, what does this say? I couldn't, like, instead of having to read all the depositions, which I'm still going to do because it's super easy to do on docket updates. You just go into depositions and they're all highlighted, the new pages. Or you can also just read them in the, latest news. You can read the depositions in the book there. But if you wanted to just go read in the depositions, they're all highlighted with yellow, the new pages. But I found this really interesting that there's like this whole little timeline of like what's all in it and what it entails. And it's pretty long, but it's a pretty long read, but it basically kind of tells you everything in the timeline in written form. So I thought that was really cool. And then they also get into the interrogatories, which was the second section, and what all that entailed in the interrogatories, which was pretty cool. And one thing that I found super cool in the interrogatories, Dear Kaleidoscope 2, this is from Steve Sarawitz's, and they asked him to identify all the individuals who caused Miss Lively damage. And his response was so funny because look at what he responded. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Maximum Effort, Leslie Sloan, Vision PR, Stephanie Jones, Jonesworks, and Sony. These are the people he listed that he knew of that caused damage to Blake Lively. So I thought that was hilarious. I couldn't wait to share that with y'all because I was like, dude, it's just so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, so hold on one second. I'm gonna get into the third half of the show as we're nearing 2 hours, y'all. Under oath means nothing. Yeah, Steve is the boss. Yes, for sure. And so then we're gonna get into what the gist of this was here with Little Girl Attorney. So this is Pale Detective who also this is Pale Detective who also breaks down over on Reddit Little Girl Attorney stuff. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but she goes into why the timeline actually exists, that it's like a working PR crisis management document, that this is all before there was any legal action. So this was back in August. And it mirrors Wayfair's narrative. And from what I saw, what they included in the lawsuit info website, there was some of it in there. And nothing resembles a classic harassment complaint. Justin's sexy comment, the birthing scene protest, telling Baldoni he should not cry anymore. That was one of the Easter eggs we'll get into that we didn't know before, that she told him he's not allowed to cry. Complaints about Heath looking at her. Lively was offended that Heath asked her sister for a hug, and we'll get into that one as we go through it. But she kind of goes through it all right there. But this is what I liked about it, about her assessment of it. The document looks like prep material for crisis management pros, not a plan to destroy Lively's reputation. It's designed to help PR teams answer incoming media questions with accurate context. Nothing reads like an orchestrated smear campaign. So the reason that they included in this, it seems like all the stuff that got unsealed that was sealed in their spoliation motions did nothing to help them. It actually made things worse for them. And this is one included, the JH timeline, because we found out so much stuff. So I'm going to play this from our very own DFJ that sums up some of the cool little Easter eggs as we get into part 3, which is the timeline. So, whew, you made it. If you made it this far through the audio, take a deep breath, grab some coffee, because we're going into the last half of this, which is all the juicy parts that happened this weekend. So we've gotten through the last 2 weeks. This is everything that's happened this weekend, what citizens are yapping about, and this timeline had so many Easter eggs. So we're going to get right into it with this video from DFJ. I'm going to go ahead and play it.
25th. Justin had the conversation with Blake and Ryan regarding her weight. Justin went over to Ryan and Blake's penthouse, and Ryan unloaded on Justin how horrible it was that Justin would ask about a woman's weight, claiming that JB was fat-shaming Blake. Justin was completely embarrassed and apologized and even shed some tears. Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman were also present in the apartment at the time. Fucking shit, what the fuck? JB and BL discussed production, wardrobe, and Blake Lively made some remark about how Taylor Swift said the fans don't know what they want until you give it to them, in defense of her wardrobe choices, which were being trashed online. Further, she paid JB a compliment on this day, and JB, in hearing it, teared up. This would later be weaponized against him, as BL would insist that JB was in her trailer sobbing about how she looks old.
So I love these little shorts by DFJ because like the Christmas music, it's like Christmas is coming early. That's how I felt like as it was all going through it. So it was a little bit of tea in under a minute. And I love the music in the background and everything when she's like, what the F? Like the censorship. It was just such a cool little snippet. So I had to share it with you. Go support DFJ over on her channel. We're trying to get her to 1,000 followers to get her advertisement or ad monetized so she can get monetized through ads and stuff. And she covers a lot of the Stephanie Jones stuff. She's also covered Van Jam. There's a ton of good videos. If you haven't already checked her out, go make sure to check her channel. And like I said, I'm going to post everyone in the description after the show, all the creators mentioned here. But she also did a stream. It was a pre-Thanksgiving break stream that was really good on, what was happening in real time, the timeline and all that stuff. So go make sure you guys go check out that. That's what the snippet is from. It's from that video. She kind of just put all like the best little snippets in here. But yeah, make sure you guys go check out her channel. And she's also a mod here. So appreciative of her for taking the time out in her mornings to, come and mod for me in the morning as well. But yeah, so she says in this video, the Taylor Swift thing, and citizens had a lot to say. So we're going to get into the third half on what citizens were saying in regards to, let me move the StreamYard over to this tab. That way I have everything on one. Okay. On this whole Taylor Swift thing, because she says that Taylor Swift told her, like, this is what the fans, want. Or the fans don't know what they want until you give it to them. And it's so funny because me and Bocce said great mind things alike, because as I was coming back, I was like, oh my God, I just wanted to tell you this because it reminded me of that dance scene. And she's like, oh my gosh, me too. And she actually made a post about it. So she's like, because immediately when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this sounds exactly like what Blake Lively said in the dance video. So I'm going to play it for you guys and see if this reminds you of it. Wait, I think I lost audio, so hold on, y'all. It's a little shap. Let me remove it. Let me remove it and then present again. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear this audio.
You guys frame up on the Sebastian on you.
Yep.
We'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think you should start talking.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Still rolling.
Don't give it to them. They want it. Don't give it to
They
them.
score.
So she's like, don't give it to them. They want it. Don't give it to them. And then over here, she says, that Taylor Swift said that the fans don't know what they want until you give it to them. And so I'm like, was it really Taylor?
You guys frame up on the
Taylor said it. Because people are coming after Taylor for that comment. But was she just saying, like, just to, like, swell up, like, oh, my dragon said this? Or did she really say? Because it's like it sounded so similar to what she said. But I love Ellsworth's takes on it because she had a really unique take on it. I'm going to play her take on it.
Those ugly outfits for It Ends With Us, because Taylor Swift said the fans don't know what they want till you give it to them.
beloved. She was talking about people with fans, not people who have fans by proxy through their spouse, fans by osmosis or something. That's what you have. So when this movie was in shambles and everybody was posting the wardrobe and the outfit looking horrible, right? Justin went to talk to Blake, and this is what she said. Taylor Swift said, the fans don't know what they want until you give it to them, in defense of her wardrobe choices, which were being trashed online. This here is something I'm sure Taylor Swift could have possibly said, but it would have not been in regards to this movie. I don't know if that makes sense. I could see a world where Taylor Swift has said this statement before. Taylor Swift could have been talking to Blake Lively and said, the fans don't know what they want till you give it to them, as in her fans, as in she has fans. They really don't know what they want till their mama tells them they want it. And somehow you took that and thought it applies to you. You, Blake Lively, don't have fans. Your bestie, Taylor Swift, has fans who kind of by proxy are your fans. Your husband is Deadpool, who, because he trolls you online and he keeps you relevant, and by proxy, they kind of also like you. So you kind of have fans. You don't have enough fans to tell anybody the fans don't know what they want till you give it to them. What do you have to give to them? Blake Lively definitely said that to hold weight, to make herself sound important. But hey, Taylor, this is the part where you step to the front and you make it make sense to us because we don't understand. Because your bestie is saying you said this, and that's why she was acting a fool on those people said. And honestly, it's a miracle this freaking movie got made. It's a goddamn miracle. Blake Lively.
So I love how she just reads her to filth. She's like, you have no fans. Like, this might have applied to Taylor. So I love like that, even though she acknowledged that maybe Taylor may or may not have said it, but if she did, it only applied to her and her fans. This didn't apply to you and your non-fans. So I love that. And it's Delulu by proxy. So I love that take on that part of it. So then there was other citizens who found other pieces of it. Justice for BJS actually made like a little chart on this one little fact that we found out in the timeline where it says that Justin Baldoni told Blake Lively that she would pray for her dad. But just Blake Lively in her complaint made it seem like he spoke to her dead dad. So she kind of did like a side-by-side of what the CRD and the New York Times accusations and then the explanations by Wayfair. And some of this stuff doesn't have receipts like this one. It was actually Baldoni. Well, no, this has receipts. So this one is severe emotional distress because of harassment on set. It was actually Baldoni who was verbally and emotionally abused by Ryan Reynolds on multiple occasions. So it's like, it's showing like who was actually like telling the truth in their explanations. It says Baldoni sobbed in her trailer because she looked fat and old in the wardrobe, but the documents say Baldoni was sent to talk by Sony to discuss unflattering wardrobe pics leaked by Paps and cried after being praised by Lively. And this is what he says in the documents. This is the reason why he cried. And the reason why I would believe Baldoni over Blake is because Blake has said stuff that has come with receipts that then are untrue. The receipts show that it's not true. And Baldoni has yet to do that. He's yet to say something where the receipts don't show that. Obviously, the MJOP response is coming and the MSJ response that will have evidence attached to it. So we'll see if maybe she claps back with something. But so far, she hasn't. And then the Jenny slate of it all. And one of the new things that came out was that she did not like recorded rehearsals. She took issue with Jamie Heath's motherhood is a sacred speech. That we already knew. But in there, remember when they text each other and talk about how they don't like being recorded? Yeah, this is why, because he was recording her during rehearsals. So he wasn't like secretly recording her or nothing. It was just he recorded rehearsals and maybe he didn't mention that he was recording them. I don't know, but that's what they were talking about when they're like, seriously, you can't secretly record people. Claire Ayub was actually secretly recording. They actually did Van Zandt in secret. So it's really crazy. So I love this little chart by Justice for BJS. And if you guys want to go check out the whole chart, go give her a follow over on X and then you guys can read the whole chart there. But yeah, I really love that people are staying on their necks and comparing stuff in these little charts that are being made. And then we have Little Nomad. A ton of people sent me this. I probably had like 30 messages between TikTok and X of people sending me this post from Little Nomad that in the deposition transcript, this came out that Jamie Heath says that he recorded the call from Yanni when it came to WME and Patrick Whitesell from WME, what he told him, how he basically kind of was like, you guys need to play ball, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I recorded it because I wanted it documented. I wanted to record it so that I could actually write it down and have it. So there is going to be a recorded, y'all. Wayfair has the recording of the call when WME pressured them to release the statement, plus the call with Sony regarding the premiere and how Wayfair parties must be put in the basement. So that call is coming out based on this deposition from Jamie Heath, that they have that. And a ton of people wanted me to share that. So thank you to all the citizens who sent this to me, who thought this was important to share. Definitely something to look forward to. I wonder if that's the audio that's coming out or what. Another thing that Nomad pointed out was she found this video of Justin Baldoni happily sharing about his morning, that the inner joy matters, and how a small act of kindness like a smile can be contagious. Little did we know that that same day was when Ryan Reynolds berated him, which was April 25th. And so if you look at the timeline, Justin went over to Ryan and Blake's penthouse, and Ryan unloaded on Justin how horrible it was that Justin would ask about a woman's weight, claimed that JB was fat shaming Blake. Justin was completely embarrassed and apologized and even shed some tears. Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman were also present in the apartment at the time. Based on the timeline, the lawsuit info, I believe that he just said they were going up and down, coming in and out. There was 2 celebrity friends who were coming in and out. There's creators that are saying that they were present, that they spoke during it. I haven't seen anything that says that. So if you guys in the chat want to put it like where I can find that, or where it says that they were like actually part of the conversation, or they were there, you know, also present. Because the only thing I've seen was what Bocce shared, that they were going up and down, and that I guess it's a 3-story penthouse. So they're going in and out. So maybe they were just kind of like there as a presence, like, oh, here's my dragons. I don't know. But I've yet to see anything that says that they were actually like present during like the yelling. So maybe they overheard it. But I don't know that they were actually there. The only thing I've seen is that they were in and out. And then here is some more of what the timeline shows. On 5/6, Justin talked to Colleen Hoover at the Sony trailer dinner about the sexy comment and the behind-the-scenes drama. The timeline literally says Colleen and her friend Taryn were empathetic to what he told them. After the dinner, though, Colleen calls Brandon Sklenner, so he enters the chat here, and shared details about what happened. Then the timeline says, we later hear from BLRR that the dinner made her uncomfortable, meaning that information came from Blake and Ryan, not from Colleen herself. Later, when Jamie texted her on 5/28, Colleen responded that she doesn't want to be in the middle. That is the only direct quote from her in the entire timeline. Then on 5/30 at the test screening, Josh Greenstein told the group that Colleen would not promote the movie unless they used Blake's cut, because that's who she was working with. That statement comes from Blake's side. The timeline literally says that. Nothing in the screenshot says Justin manipulated her. Nothing says he revealed HR complaints. Nothing says she refused to promote Justin's cut because of him. And so this is where they go into the whole Colleen and Brandon stuff. And Reddit over here did a deeper dive. They went into Taryn Fisher's Instagram. This picture has been floating around. A lot of us super sleuths knew this is when Colleen and him had a falling out. And it was right before the BookCon thing. This was the last dinner that they had together. And so this is her friend Taryn, and this is Jamie Heath. It says, Justin and Jamie made Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher so uncomfortable that they ran to Blake Lively and complained about it. I can't confirm this picture was taken after the dinner, but I'm 99% sure it was, because I highly doubt Jamie and Justin were hanging out with these two on the regular. Plus, Taryn lives in Washington and wasn't on set. But yeah, they sure do look uncomfortable in this picture. So uncomfortable that Taryn later posted this picture of them on her Instagram. Mind you, she also thinks Justin is a bad man, that good men are rare, and Justin is not one of them. Still, she proudly posted this bad man who made her uncomfortable on her Instagram. So this is where the math doesn't math, because she at one point started arguing in like the DMs or in the of a post that she had made. This was a DM with Taryn Fisher. Her best friend is Colleen Hoover. And she started arguing with someone that's like, you need to believe me. And how would you believe she says, I really value good men. They're rare and he's not it. And then she's like, I think you guys are cute speculating from the outside, but there's truth. So if you're going to tell Colleen's best friends that she knows less than you, then bye, girl. The public, LOL. You've met Justin, right? Yeah, you've had meals with him and hung out with him. And then this is the one where I was like, what? She's like, you like to believe men. You've been in my inbox twice defending him. You're on a D like most women. Bye. I'm like, what? Like, she's saying you're on his D, and then she's like literally asking her like, well, why did you post him on Instagram if he's so bad? And why was that still up? And then it seems like she unfollowed Blake after this and then blocked everybody, like trying to, I guess, hide it or whatever. But remember when Jenna Redfield said that Colleen's friends were contacting her? Was Taryn one of them? Because, yeah, now that all this stuff is coming out, like, we have to revisit Taryn and, Brandon Sklenar. So here it says, Colleen calls Brandon Sklenar and divulges details of the dinner she had with Justin Baldoni, JH, and Taryn. We later hear from BL and RR that this dinner made her feel uncomfortable. So that's, people are posing the question, why did Colleen Hoover call Sklenar? Like, were they close? Did they talk at this time? This is before the book con. Why was she giving him all the details? So I don't know, but obviously they have re-entered the chat. Thank you, Jesse and Max, for the $5 super chat. I love you, Kevin Fritz. It's Fritztastic. All of this is Fritztastic. I love that. I want to find the sticker so I can show it to you guys, but I don't know where it was at. I just remember seeing it in one of the TikTok comments. So if I find it again, I'll pull it back up. So let's see what's going on in the chat as we go into the end of the show here. One of the content creators posted pictures of Taryn and Ryan Reynolds together in the past, made it seem like they had some ties of friendship. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like the ops. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so crazy. That they, like, I don't know. I just feel like everyone was like implanted into his life to like make this happen. But I know it's like a conspiracy tinfoil theory, but it's always one that's been in the back of my mind. So let's keep going with the last half of the show. Our girl Bocce again, because her videos are so dope. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds priming the public ahead of unsealed documents. So here they splice together two of Bocce Go Hawk's clips where she discusses the recent People article. So much narcissistic strategizing and manipulating going on. The dog whistling, the gaslighting, the blame shifting, the taunting, the shaming. We can at least turn this into a fun game of predicting what they are trying to preemptively hide by the PR narrative they're currently trying to spin. Can't wait for the unsealing. So here's a summary of the video. Ryan Reynolds' People magazine article seems like strategic PR presenting himself as a confident director, open to dissent while subtly framing Justin Baldoni as less capable. The sparkly reference looks like a nod to Blake Lively. And I noticed they use the word sparkly in the Out article too. And I noticed that when Justin Baldoni was giving interviews, he also used the word sparkly during the promotion. There was like an interview that I found in one of the articles when I was looking up which article like Colleen was mad about during the text. And he uses the word sparkly. So it seems like it's like contagious in her circle or whatever. But yeah, I thought that was really weird, the sparkly thing. And it could be SEO manipulation because, it's like same thing with the word yummy. But maybe it's just now, like, every time I hear sparkly, I'm like, oh, you talked to Blake, didn't you? Like, anything that says sparkly, I'll just automatically just think of Blake. I don't know why. But, I mean, they're saying the sparkly referencing. And this People magazine article was Ryan Reynolds. So Colleen's trying to clean up her stuff. Ryan's trying to clean up his stuff. Pretty soon, Brendan will be trying to clean up his stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out with something. Anybody that's mentioned seems like they're just trying to clean up their stuff. We saw Isabel Ferrer deleting pictures and all that stuff when she was trying to clean up her mess. So Ryan Reynolds here is saying that, like, directors should be have a little bit of dissent because that makes him a strong director. And so Bocce here is saying that he's framing it so that Baldoni looks bad and Blake doesn't look like she was trying to take over the movie. The delayed unsealing of documents appears intentional, giving PR teams time to shape the narrative before evidence surfaces that Blake Lively took over parts of the film. The current message seems aimed at softening the impact by reframing her actions as harmless dissent rather than a takeover. So y'all go check out that video. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Or you guys can check out the spliced version over on Reddit. Team Justin Baldoni is also where I go to catch up. So those are some of the ones that I go to. Oh, I thought usually it shows it here on the side what I go to, but it's Team Justin Baldoni. It ends with lawsuits and Blake Lively snark. So here's another one from Team Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively's outing is to soften the narrative amid lawsuit. So they're even writing about it. So here's an article that says Blake Lively's public outing to soften narrative amid lawsuit, says source. Blake Lively was recently spotted at Trader Joe's stores in Connecticut. And someone said, Happy Thanksgiving, the gift that keeps on giving. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are doing the PR, flooding the zone technique of putting up good news articles about them to soften the narrative before their evil texts get unsealed. And so here is the Trader Joe's picture. TMZ reports that Blake Lively was spotted shopping at Trader Joe's today wearing a sexy beanie. So she's trying to seem like relatable, like, look, I'm shopping for Thanksgiving. I'm at Trader Joe's. But we have Same Girl, Different Time here, who says, my thoughts on the Trader Joe's pics. This is a TikTok account that I love, Same Girl, Different Time. You guys should go and follow her over on TikTok. She spills a lot of tea, and she goes deep dives into the Van Zandt stuff, more into like Ryan Reynolds. Like, she does a lot of good deep dives. And I think she had a YouTube channel, but I don't know if it's still active or if she's still posting over here on YouTube. But anyways, she's like, my thoughts on the Trader Joe's pics. They look like professional shots that were allowed by the store. And 2, Trader Joe's is not even the closest Trader Joe's to her Westchester or Tribeca homes. So this is in Connecticut. And I remember that Clark was basically saying that he put together that the town that this Trader Joe's is in is also the same town that Claire IEWU had like one of her library things at, like one of her workshops in that town, and that Ryan Reynolds has also done work in that town at like a high school or something. And I love that he basically was like, oh my God, it's so funny because if Claire turned on Justin Baldoni for a library gig, like that makes it even worse. Like, what did she get in return? Because I remember I was saying that she got the New York college stuff that was attached to Paul Feig and Blake Lively, like speaking at these like renowned New York colleges. But what if it was just the library gig? Like Ryan's like, oh, I promise you a library gig. I mean, that's not coincidence. It's the same Trader Joe's in that same little town. So yeah, they put that together, which I thought was crazy. It's to soften her image. And then she put this on Instagram. Blake Lively uploaded this video of her wearing a towel, doing her makeup on Instagram 14 hours ago. It says, Eldridge explains really well the irony of her wearing a towel, doing her makeup, and how she made Jamie Heath turn around, but then posted this for the world to see on her IG. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Last night's unsealing was our Thanksgiving turkey. So everyone was like, munching on all this after Thanksgiving, and I started munching on it on Friday. I was like, let me just take a peek here. But most of it I did last night, everything that was going on. Cause yeah, she was trying to do damage control for sure. And I don't know what this towel thing is. She's got a robe that's like tied in the front. And I mean, Eldridge just says it the best. So I'm just going to play her here. It says that the audio isn't playing. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. Let me remove it and then add it back on. Okay, let me see. It should work now.
And happy Thanksgiving to everybody but Blake Lively, because this morning I want her to explain something to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume you were covered just about this much in your trailer, whether you were breastfeeding or having body makeup removed or whatever. This is what you would have looked like. So in your trailer, Jamie had to turn around, but you come on the internet and you present this entire situation to the whole world with all kinds of creepers creeping. So here it's okay. But in your trailer where you were with your makeup artist and everybody, and the man walked in, you asked him to face the wall. He can't even make eye contact with you. Make it make sense. I'm seeing everything, girl. I'm sure that's a nipple over there. So this is Blake Lively claiming Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, everybody walked in while she was either getting makeup removed or she was breastfeeding or pumping or whatever. Present in the room are Lively's nanny, makeup artist, and assistant. While Lively is having body makeup removed, she was not topless, as she claims in her complaint. She was either nursing or pumping while fully covered. Lively asked Heath to face the wall while they determine a time to meet. If this here is any indication of what she was supposed to have been in her makeup trailer, I don't understand how you can come on the internet and show us this bare chest. I'm sorry, is everybody watching this video about to get a subpoena from you? Are we about to get sued?
And there she is with her hairspray. That's what I'm talking about, just spraying hairspray. Like, what are you doing? Natasha Heath is literally trying to help postpartum women, and you're sitting there getting ready like you're so tone deaf. And I know that people have like listened to like Abe's stuff, like her PR people, and like I'm not trying to help her out, but like if anybody wants to salvage this, like all of this stuff is so tone deaf. It's giving people are dying Kim. Like here she is getting ready to go out spraying hairspray in her hair with this towel. And Elsie is right. Like, okay, we know that Vivian Baker testified in her deposition that she had like this hair cape, like, you know, like the capes they use like to do hair or whatever, that she had on her chair, and then she like quickly puts it on Blake. So no matter what, she wasn't nude, because Vivian herself testified that even if Jamie Heath came in and announced or whatever, as they say, which he says that he heard them say come in, and that could have just been a simple misunderstanding. They might have said like, wait, stop, don't come in, and he just might have just heard the come in part and he just came in. Because then after he came in and he was like, oh, let me leave, you know, according to him, and they were like, no, you can stay, just face the wall. So either way, she was covered up by Vivian's own testimony that she quickly grabbed something and covered her up. And here she is, and like, you know, she people have pulled up pictures of where she's showing her cleavage, and a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's her body, her choice, and like whenever she wants to show it, she can show it. But it's like, you're sitting there showing stuff in your towel to just the whole internet, but yet you're upset that somebody might have seen you, or they didn't even see anything, because he looked her in the eye. He didn't look at her breasts. He didn't look at her body. He looked her in the eye. Like, it makes no sense. And so the math is still not mathing, and it's just, it makes her look tone deaf. So they continue by saying over here on Blake Lively snark, which is another one that I catch up on. Before anyone come at me saying that it's her body, her choice, blah, blah, blah. Yes, she can be naked on her own terms and no one is allowed to harass her, but there's zero proof that she has shown that she has been harassed by Justin or Jamie. The hypocrisy, and also a way to mock Jamie and his wife by posting on her story of her 42 million followers, her in a towel. Like, why? Exactly. She could have done the Alabama Barker stuff. When Alabama Barker does the get ready with me, she does it like in silk pajamas or whatever. She could have been wearing PJs. She could have been wearing anything. She could have been wearing the robe, like with the sleeves through it. Like, there was no way for her to take her hands out of the sleeves of the robe and then tie it in front of her like that, so her chest is out. Like, look at right there. And also trying to squash rumors of divorce with the date selfie. She's trying so hard to manipulate the SEO for sure. Because after this, it's like, you know, her finished outfit and then a selfie of her and her husband out on the town. And that's also tone deaf. Like, you and your husband out on the town, like, it just screams tone deaf. It doesn't help her. I don't see how this is rehabilitating her image at all. It just makes it worse and worse. And classic hairspray, like just spraying all kinds of hairspray in her hair. And then this was funny because someone over there said that she's still got shit on her teeth, just like how when Baldoni told her, like, you need a toothpick. So I know this is super petty, but like, I don't know. It could be something in her teeth. It could just be the picture, but this is the picture she took next to Ryan once she had all her stuff done. So it could be petty wop, but I love it. It's like probably from a bathroom burrito. And this is Blake Lively snark. So this is kind of like the more funner side of the case. But yeah, it's super ridiculous. And then this is the next part that some people, the racist allegations came back up. So we're going to go full circle from where we started. It says Blake Lively was upset that Jamie Heath asked her sister for a hug. She also told Baldoni that he couldn't cry anymore. So a lot of people said, why was it not okay for a black man to ask consent for a hug? 5 says that she was offended that a JH asked Miss Lively for a hug and then minimized HR concerns. So, but wait, he asked her for a hug. Why was him asking? Like, she could have said no, I don't want a hug. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. So the racist allegations came back up. Same girl, different time. Yesterday, just posted this last night. Genuine question. Will BL supporters denounce her behavior if racist text messages come from her will be exposed? Is that something that people who have wholeheartedly defended her are prepared to do if racist text messages are revealed? So if in these unsealings or anything, for any reason, if there are text messages or anything that exists where it's, you know, she's being racist, would people still, she says, please share this. Let's hear some answers. So you guys in the chat, let us know if you guys think if racist texts come out, if people will still support her. I love my answer. I said, so my answer is down here. I said, they may not denounce her, but I do know that Black Twitter is about to be on her neck if that comes out. Because they will, I mean, they're as big as the Swifties over there on X. I guess it's X now, not Twitter. But yeah, they can go hard if they get into a situation where they want to talk about it. And this would definitely be one of them. So it'll definitely take flight over on X if this does come out. And so these, you know, racism allegations are popping up again with that hug and Blake Lively. I know Eldridge said she's going to make a video on it. This morning she had made a video on some stuff. And if you guys don't follow Eldridge, go give her a follow. She's working through being sick. I took a week off when I was sick. She's sick and she's still working. So Carol has this saying that she's like, we're not doing anything until Justin Baldoni's problems are done. And so kudos to everyone who keeps going, who's on vacation. Little girl attorney was on vacation in Thailand. She still came with, her analysis of all of this. So there's people that aren't taking breaks. I can't not take a break because I like hyper fixate. So when I'm like in this, I'm in this, and then I can't be like part of like the real world type of thing. Because otherwise it'll be like someone's giving me change, like, or they'll be like, oh, it's $3.12 for your coffee. And I'm like, did you know that on March 12th, no, April 12th, this is what happened on Baldoni? And they're like, ma'am, here's your change. Like, we don't care. So I'm like, I super hyper fixate on the case. So sometimes I just need to take these little breaks to take care of all my in real life stuff before any of this. So let me okay, so last thing is she also that came out is that she wanted the crew to wear name badges with photos. Blake requested that everyone in the crew wear name tag badges with photo. She said this was standard protocol on the sets. That was not standard practice that anyone else on set was familiar with. Wayfair, of course, accommodated this request. Hold on one second. Oh, am I not sharing my screen? Oh, wait, that was an old text. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so let me share this. Sorry. So was I not sharing my screen the whole time? So that was at 9:04. That was a whole hour ago. So I think I was sharing my screen at some point. So sorry if the screen hasn't been sharing for the last hour, but I think it was sharing, right? I was just looking at my phone because it's on silent. I should probably put it up. Thank you to the mods who have been texting me. Okay. Oh, 220 people watching. That's so cool. Yeah, we're just wrapping up here. So she basically wanted name badges and it cost Wayfair more money. This was not standard practice. And they accommodated this. And people were saying that this costs money, that this is only in big budget films, not small budget films. So this is an account that I follow over on TikTok. Her name is Alicia. It's Van Doren Style, at Van Doren Style is her it's her at. And so I'm just going to play this little tidbit really quick of what she's saying and why it's not standard.
I feel like that was another budget line item that Blake didn't need to spend. Again, it's the inflated self-importance that I feel that she has sometimes. I've only ever been on one shoot where it was, like I said, top secret. It was reshoots for something that hadn't even been filmed in Vancouver, but we were doing the reshoots in Vancouver because we needed to use a large tank that was at one of our studios. My thought was, yes, we have assistant directors and maybe one of them was manning the badges, but that's a huge job and that's completely unnecessary. You can also have badges with just the name on it. You don't have to have the actual photos on it. But I have very, very rarely needed a crew badge when I was on a show, but never, ever have I had a badge on a low budget show.
So she goes more deep into it. Y'all go check out her channel. She's a script supervisor, and she's worked with both Blake and Baldoni, not on this movie, but on different sets. And so her channel is like really cool to deep dive through because she has a lot of like experience like being on the set. When the bar video came out, she talked about Video Village and how if she was being like, SH or something, how like all the people that are there that are looking at the video that are like in real time hearing sound, all that stuff, just how impossible it would be to do that. Another little tidbit as we head out is this exclusive saga from Perez Hilton. So he's entered the chat again. I mean, he's been covering it too, but he doesn't really cover like a lot of the like day-to-day stuff. He'll cover the big stuff, but this is one thing that he did cover. For legal reasons, he couldn't mention any names, but he thinks it'll be of interest. And you guys should go check out his video. It's an exclusive. It's over on YouTube, and it's in regards to a certain publicist and a possible pending lawsuit that could be coming. So you guys go check out that video. Again, for legal reasons, I will also not say the name, but go check out the video because, I mean, he does a great job of telling like according to a source, this is what I heard and this is what might be coming. And so he drops a couple little Easter eggs there. So you guys go support Perez and check out that. And then we have Asshole Media. So thank you, Jessie and Max. She's the one who gave the $5 shouting out Fritz super chat. And also she's been really active over on X. I know she has an Instagram too. But you guys go give her a follow. I'm not sure what her choice of where to follow her, because I think all of her ads are different in her different platforms. But it's Asshole Media, and this is one that really intrigued me. It says, why did they incept into Justin's mind that he should be in the movie and play Ryle, the abuser, the bad guy? Think about it. This seems like a long game takeover. So this was kind of like in my my conspiracy tinfoil thing, because I was like, really, why wouldn't they say, oh, you should play Atlas? And I know that when he played Raphael, a lot of people said that there was like a couple episodes where he kind of got like in like a more darker side of himself through Raphael, because although he was like a romantic. So for those who watched Jane the Virgin, like, did Raphael give Ryle vibes at some point? Because I know some people who read the book said that, but it's really weird that she would say you should play Ryle instead of you should play Atlas. So some people think it was the setup. And then the fact that she wrote the second movie the second book as production of the first one was going on, like, what was going on there? And then how did he get the rights to the second book if it was written as it was in production? That's what I'm wondering. Like, did he automatically just be like, oh, I want the second book too when it's done? Or was the deal like made to where she was going to have to write a sequel so that he could get the rights to both? I'm wondering how that works. So maybe we can deep dive into that, or maybe you guys can drop it in the comments if you guys have any more knowledge on that, or drop me a DM or something. But I thought that was interesting. And then we have our good friend Lauren, who reminded us that there is still another lawsuit going on that's current, like, that has stuff currently going on the 19th. What happened was that Popcorn Planet provided the complete privilege log, and there was an in-camera review of the privilege log. It says Blake Lively is still dragging Andy Senior and Popcorn Planet through the court system to punish them for their upcoming documentary. I participated in the documentary and know that Andy does everything above board. It is not an offense for him to create a documentary, nor is it an offense for the crew to speak out about what happened on set. The fact that Lively was able to use the court system to wreak havoc on so many of us exercising free speech is a horrible look for our justice system. She withdrew her subpoena for my information months ago, but Andy is still going through it. So just a reminder that Andy's case is still going through the system. If you go to docketupdates.com under court cases, so here under cases, if you scroll all the way down, you guys can see Popcorn Planet versus BL. And then if you click there, it'll take you to the court listener tab. And so there's the latest, November 19th, he submitted the privilege log. So we're waiting to see what's going on with that. Is that going to be enough? Are they going to make him produce more? Like, what is going on? So that is what we're waiting on that end. So shout out to Lauren for, not letting us forget about Andy and what's going on over there. If you guys want to go support him on his channel, he has legal fees that he's raising funds for. And also the documentary still, which has not come out, and there's still probably editing that has to get done with that. I'm sure that there's going to be more pieces to it now that he's been subpoenaed. So if you guys can and have the opportunity to go support, right now it's a good time to support all creators, Bocce, DFJ, all these creators that are putting in the effort, because this is like our last push here before trial, where we can help the actual narrative go out to the public, because MSM is not giving the actual narrative. We have docket updates where people can go read it. I encourage anyone who's a creator that's on the stream to shout out docket updates, to use docket updates in their videos, to make sure that people are going there to see the documents for themselves, get updated on the key players, all that stuff. So shout out to Lauren. We're going to go into the jurisdictional calendar over on docket updates to see what is coming up next. The deadline for the WP, for the Wayfarer parties to reply to the New York Times anti-SLAPP case is tomorrow. That's going to be a big one, because the New York Times decided to, after they were dismissed from this case, they decided to go sue him for, basically it's anti-SLAPP, basically saying you try to sue us and you shouldn't have. And they want $150,000 in attorney fees. So they're going to reply to that. Also, the deadline for Blake Lively's opposition for the MSJ and the MJOP is coming on the 3rd. And that Rule 11 motion, they get to actually submit a substantive opposition. So what they submitted with the Ryan subpoena and all that stuff, they get to like basically get a redo of that or like submit more info on that. So he can be fully briefed to rule on that Rule 11 motion. So we'll see if more stuff comes out about Ryan in there or if they just stick to what was already there. We'll see what happens there. And then the deadline for deposition of experts, deadline for Blake Lively and Stephanie Jones to reply to Wayfair's opposition of spoliation sanctions. And then they have a post-discovery status conference at 10 a.m. December 9th. So that's like kind of like a conference hearing. I don't know if that's through Zoom or what, if we'll have access to that. Deadline for Blake Lively to reply to Wayfair's opposition of Rule 11 motion. And then the deadline for Wayfair to reply to the MSJ and the MJOP will be the 12th. We then have deadline to complete expert discovery and deadline to complete deposition of experts. And then we get a full break until January 9th. Nothing should be happening during the holidays, so we should be able to enjoy the holidays. I don't know if anything will drop, if there'll be any unsealings or anything that'll drop, but it seems like all the unsealings will be after January 9th. Then the pretrial order, and then obviously the trial March 9th. So we're nearing the end here, you guys. I love, again, Carol always quotes, we're not finished until Justin Baldoni's problems are solved. So this is the last push. Again, support your creators. We have Nag, not actually Golden, who I love, who made this beautiful chart. It says, I hereby grant you a license to use this for self-education. So go over to her YouTube channel. And I love the summary of it. It says, this video grants viewers a license to learn about legal arguments. The creator meticulously charts dispositive motion arguments, organizing MJOB and MSJ responses. The chart details available options for a judge, aiding understanding of the legal process. So she's going to explain everything in her video. It's 4 minutes and 50 seconds long, so y'all go check it out. But she even leaves it at the end for creators to like screenshot it. So I screenshotted it so you guys can see it. On one side, she has the MJOP and the MSJ. So this is everything that Wayfair said. So these are the I want to say counts. It's not counts. These are the like the different complaints. Like it's the Title 7 for SH, and this is their like reply as to why it doesn't apply. There's no right to sue letter for it ends with us. So this is why it wouldn't apply. So these are the reasons why it should be thrown out. All of these what are they called, y'all, in the chat? It's not called counts. It's called not complaints, but they're called, what are they called? Let me go look at the chat. Do you guys know what they're called? It's like basically like everything that she's saying that he the torts, the claims. Yeah, these are the claims. That's what it is. The claims, the pleadings. No, these are the claims. So DFJ has it right. So these are all her claims. Title SH, the retaliation for FIHA. And so each claim, she puts it into the chart. Like, this is what they replied. Like, this is why this should be thrown out. So it's a really cool chart. And she says, then she's going to, when Blake Lively responds, she's going to see where it fits. Like, does she respond to there not being extraterritorial application of California law? And this one is really like cool to look into, because the recent Vin Diesel case, I have a video on the Vin Diesel case somewhere in my archives. I believe that I kind of like dabbled a little bit when she brought it into the Blake Lively case. Remember when she said Brian Friedman like slapped Vin Diesel's lawyer or whatever? But I went through that case. It was an SH case that happened a couple of years ago with Vin Diesel. I think it was like an assistant or something, but it happened in Georgia, the incident, and the filming and all that stuff took place in California. And so basically that was just ruled on recently. And I don't know if like they're going to use it in this case again at some point. That's why it doesn't apply, because that judge over there in California, but then again, that's a California judge and this is a New York judge. But that judge over there was like, it didn't happen in California, it happened in Georgia. So now like he threw out the case. And so I wonder if that will get thrown out with the extraterritorial application of California law, because obviously this stuff happened in New Jersey and they're based in California. So I don't know if that's going to come into play. But then there was this one, the false light, that New York doesn't have false lights, and then litigation privilege with the defamation stuff. civil conspiracy. There's no underlying tort and it's duplicative. So that was really cool. So that wraps up our show today, y'all. We're gonna close out with Bocce's song "Waste Our Time," because as we wait for this MSJ and all that stuff, like I feel like it is just going to be a waste of time, her response, because if she had anything, she would have already dropped it. We know how they work. We'll see what ends up happening, but I felt like this song was appropriate. So if Bocce is still here, thank you so much for this album. If you guys have not checked out Bocce's album, it's over on YouTube, and I'll link all of this stuff at the very end. Which I don't know how I'm going to do that because I actually closed out all the windows, but I think I can go into history and then figure it out. What is the date on the Perez video? Let me go look. Because I just saw it. He posted it to Reddit 4 days ago. This was posted 4 days ago. So that was, I don't know what the exact date was 4 days ago, but let's, I'm going to outro this and then we'll read the chat before we go. I'm going to say a proper goodbye, but I'm going to go ahead and play this as we wrap up. I love that part. Why you crashing out on Instagram? Like, literally, it sums up the whole show. Like, you're wasting our time. And then she crashed out on Instagram with her dang towel. It's not even a towel. It was a robe that she literally had the thought to come out of the robe, take her arms out of it, tie the sleeves in a bow in front of her to give her like cleavage too. It's like the way she tied it under her boobs to make her cleavage like more cleavagey. Like, what? I don't know, but this was perfect. There's so many good songs. This is the soundtrack to when I put together these videos and stuff. There's so many bops. But let me just go through the chat one more time. Thank you, everybody. Bushbirds just got here as we're wrapping up. But hello, Bushbirds. We did feature some of your stuff early. So replay crew, you're in the very first half of the show. It's been 2.5 hours of the show, but it was 2 shows in one. If you guys didn't catch it all the way through, you guys can be part of replay crew and watch it in sections if you want. And I love Bocce. She says, like, you know, chat, help me out. Leave some timestamps. So if there's any like your favorite part, leave the timestamp. I love that. I went to her videos and she's like, chat, help me out with some timestamps. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, if you guys find like a particular part that you guys really like, just drop the timestamp. And if you guys watched it all the way through, what should we make the code word for watching it all the way through? We have to go back. If you watch it all the way through, type "we have to go back" in the comments. It helps the algorithm when you guys drop a comment. So you guys can drop that as well as any comments that you have regarding everything we went over. And yes, we will see you guys next Monday. I will try and see if I can come on during the week, but I can't make any promises, y'all. We have some great creators that are on it 24/7. Bocce Go Hawks is one. If you guys go over to her TikTok, she has several videos put out daily. Elsrich, even with her lost voice, she's still making videos. And just, yeah, make sure that we are supporting all of our creators. Everyone that I mentioned here, I'm going to put all their names in the description here at the end. So you guys make sure that you lend support to all the creators. They need it now more than anything because we're in that last run and it's the holidays. It's gonna start getting tough. We're gonna have a lot to cover as things start to get unsealed. Hopefully, Clark, cross our fingers that Clark comes through with this audio. I'm gonna go over check on TikTok and Reddit and see if anything came up. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the best, and we will definitely see you guys on the next one. And like I said, drop a "we have to go back" if you watched all the way through in the comments. Appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.